everybody.
Okay, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Englewood Cliffs Bay and Council meeting. Today is August 13th, 2025, time at 6:32 p.m. I have to call this meeting to order, and please all stand for the flag salute.
Pledge allegiance to the liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Madam Clerk, could you read the open public meeting statement?
Yes, ma'am. This meeting was called pursuant to the...
I don't know what's on TV, but we are on, and I believe they're able to see the,
You're up,
Yeah.
we can't see anything.
I
They only needed the two other councilmen to be on, they don't care about anything else.
It's very obvious.
This meeting was called pursuant to the provision of the Open Public Meeting Act, PL 1975, Chapter 231. Notice of this meeting was included in a notice sent to Star Ledger and the Record on January 17, 2025, and published on January 21st, 2025, posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building, and has remained continuously posted as the required notice under the statute. Copies of the above-mentioned notice are available to the public and on file in the office of the municipal clerk.
Thank you for reading that. Madam Clerk, could you have a roll call, please?
Yes, Mayor. Mayor Park,
Here.
Councilwoman Ramon,
Here.
Councilman Luciano.
I'm present, but I just have a question of point of order. Do we have the
Let's just
public
do the
involved?
roll
No,
call
this
first.
is roll call
Point of order
time.
takes precedence, sir. If you don't
Councilwoman
know Robert
Begat,
Rules of Order, point of order.
Councilman Liang,
Is the public fully engaged in this meeting?
Yes.
Councilman Katubes.
Here.
Thank you.
Mayor, can I have a point of order, please?
What's the question?
Is the public fully engaged on either Zoom or YouTube as advertised for this meeting?
The public is engaged. There is a YouTube live stream link, and there's a Zoom where people can listen through the OBS system right on our.
How many people are on Zoom right now?
Right now, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 people right now.
4, and how many in the waiting room?
There's nobody in the waiting.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Next item is agenda is department head report. Could you come to, okay, first, intern administration.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Mayor, Council, members of the public. I hope everybody's having a great week and a great summer so far. Just wanted to give a quick update. As you can see, this meeting, we did our very best with the current climate of our system to run the dual stream operations. This has been a couple of days now, or 2-3 days now, between our IT service provider, BIS Digital, with some feedback from previous folks that provided some helpful guidance to get this meeting operational. However, we are not stopping making our long-term improvements. I did send out a message to the community outlining what our plans are, some of which are already in motion, and thanks to some of the help of our CFO, we're able to, we've identified some sources of funding in order to address this situation long term. So we ask for everyone's continued patience, and we appreciate everyone with their feedback and their concerns to get this in the right track in terms of getting the maximum participation. But I did want to make something perfectly clear. This issue that we're dealing with is not something that the present governing body or the present staff has dealt with. You know, it's been due to a lot of deferred upgrades. And while the improvements from the past helped get us to where we needed to go, it didn't take into account some of the long-term issues that we might have experienced and we're experiencing now. So we're just tackling it head on, and there's a particular process with it. Moving on, I'd like to convey on behalf of the Mayor and Council a big gratitude to Office of Emergency Management as well as DPW. If you recall, in the last month or so, we had a flash flood and two earthquakes, which we communicated with the residents. We remained in constant communication, but there was no damage, there was no issues in our findings. And afterwards, our DPW and OEM, they provided reports that there was no sustained damage or any issues. The flash flood, even though there was a state of emergency and a lot of towns were impacted, it was a quiet night in Englewood Cliffs. And during the earthquake, though some of us have felt it, we were able to still be okay in terms of our public facilities, our pipes, and things of that nature in terms of infrastructure. We do ask our homeowners to continue to check on the foundation of their homes, to do your due diligence and just check on your property as well to make sure everything is okay. Moreover, I wanted to give some road resurfacing updates. PSC&G, the Phase 2 restoration, we resurfaced Charlotte Place between Sylvan Avenue and 9W and Castle Drive. And the Charlotte Place portion between Sylvan Avenue, 9W, and Hudson Terrace will be done by PSC&G once the substation work is completed in 2026. After field inspection by our engineers, there are areas in which the contractor for PSC&G does need to remediate in terms of what they damaged, such as curbs and driveway aprons, things of that nature. So our engineers who were there, they were on top of everything and on top of the contractor, so we thank you for their efforts. As far as updates to the borough's road resurfacing projects, after the appropriation this evening, after council approval, in terms of the bond ordinance, the list that was provided, last meeting as well as this meeting as well, we'll be scheduling our pre-con and resurfacing of those roads late August, right before school ends. The limitations as well as the quantities will be provided by DPW to Riverside Co-op, to the municipality Northvale, who leads this co-op in order to do the borough roads. Now, we also have NJDOT roads for the last two grants that we received for municipal aid 2023-2024, in which we appropriated that in 2024, and we had to repurpose the grant a little bit due to the work from PSC&G for Floyd Street improvements. But because of our repurposing, thanks to the efforts of our engineer, our finance team, and everyone in the municipal staff, we were able to save two grants worth up to $300,000 for the state. And we're able to repurpose it to actually make some improvements on Floyd Street from, I believe, Hollywood Avenue to Van Wagner Drive, where we can even add sidewalk improvements by the school as well. So that area will be done. The funding is already appropriated. This evening, we're authorizing the engineering design and construction management, and basically we're authorizing them to create the technical specs with our QPA in order to go out to bid and hopefully award sometime next month to begin the work. And then we have the Summit Avenue. If you recall, this was during fall. We received a grant for Summit Avenue improvements. This is from East Palisades Ave to Pershing Road. This is for the Municipal Aid 2025 grant that we received. We'll be introducing, hopefully after council approval of the bond tonight, and then the goal is to resurface this road sometime in the fall. As far as some technology updates, I'd like to thank everyone that came out during the LG-CNS MOU. This policy initiative is exploratory, and it's aimed to look at various areas in terms of modernization and innovation. I want to be clear that nothing has been decided, and Rider A of the MOU clearly sets forth the protections of data and information sharing, in which LG understands very well in terms of our expectations. As far as the borough internet, we spoken with Bergen County Fiber, thanks to Mayor Mark Park's recommendation. We met with them yesterday to run as a primary internet provider. That is subject to council approval once we receive their proposal for PD, Borough Hall, and the fire department. And basically, it'll be a shared service agreement, which there's a specific deal in which municipalities get in this group. And it'll be primary, secure, good internet connection, and then we'll have backup internet through our hopefully our hosted VoIP phone provider that'll provide us at a lesser cost backup internet. So we'll have that redundancy, so the police department is further protected in the state of emergencies and things of that nature. But also, we'll be able to save a ton of costs. So between the borough internet, the phone, with our desk phones and our phone wireless, as we're changing to AT&T FirstNet over Verizon Wireless, we're anticipating $70,000 plus in savings while having top-notch service. I'd like to thank the borough's technology committee for their service. And this is just the beginning, but this is part of our efforts to audit our third-party vendors that we're dealing with. We have a couple competitive contracting proposals out on the street currently. We have the IT service provider that'll be opened on August 21st, as well as our grants writer that our QPA is overseeing with our municipal clerk. That'll be taking place on August 21st, and hopefully, if everything goes right, we'll be able to go ahead and issue or award with council approval for our next council meeting. And a couple other updates. On the agenda, you'll see a couple resolutions there for health benefits consultant, as well as the difference card. We have some of the folks representatives from the difference card here with us. Basically, this is in response to what I shared last council meeting. We're anticipating a 37% hike from the state health benefits program. We're looking at alternatives. And one of the alternatives is offering a perk program without changing or leaving the state health benefits program. This is a perk program where we'll be able to put some money back in the pockets of our employees, but also at the same time, it'll generate some savings for our municipality long term. So that proposal was shared, and simultaneously, running parallel, we'll be beginning our research if the council decides to authorize the resolution to award the RFP that was issued last month for a health benefits consultant. This consultant and the agreement that was discussed, in the event that they cannot get us out of the state health benefits program, it's money back guaranteed, there's no expenses. So with that being said, in the interest of time, I will say that as the extent of my report. Thank you, Mayor.
I have a question here. Past a few weeks, a lot of people complaining the internet connectivity issues in certain area. Repeat. Do we know?
Yeah, thank you, Councilor, for that question. So that was due to Spectrum making their upgrades throughout town. So when they assured us that the work would take overnight, and this was through previous correspondence, Spectrum was making quite a few upgrades on their poles. They said that they weren't going to run any wires, they weren't going to do anything, and unfortunately, they went over, like, they were working on the scheduled time that they said they were going to work. In fact, they presented a lot of issues for our public safety, our police department, our municipality. It disrupted our operations. We also have Spectrum as a provider, which is the provider that's no longer going to be with us after all of these deals go through with these agreements get finalized. But pretty much that was the issue why a lot of residents were receiving a lot of disruptions in their service. They were doing some work that they needed to get done. To our understanding, the work was supposed to be very minimal, and that's what they had in writing. That issue was resolved and addressed with them, and they understood why we can't have that take place moving forward. So they're allowed to do certain work, and they went ahead and they met with us, and they shared what they were going to do. Unfortunately, they didn't really execute the way we thought they would, or the way they said they stated they would.
Mr. Chowdhury, all those things that you talked about, the RFPs, and even in a lot on our agendas this evening, excuse me, about RFPs and open and fair. For what you just mentioned, the RFP for this benefit, how many did we get? Did you put an analysis together for who put in an RFP? Because I haven't seen anything.
Yeah,
And I just think, can I finish, please?
Yeah, sure.
I just think that all this stuff, it really, if you haven't noticed before, that when I don't get information, it's a little upsetting to me. But I see on here multiple things that I've read today, that we just got today, the bill list, a lot of things that we just got today. Can I please? Is it supplemental bill list, right? Okay. So let me finish, please. Let me finish, please.
All right.
So I got a supplemental bill list today, and I see a lot of things when I look at stuff that say there's things that went out to fair and open. And I'm just requesting that when you put together something, if you have put together something, because as of tonight, I haven't seen anything, except mentioned this last month. And if you sent it, then I apologize because I haven't seen it. It hasn't been identified to me. And I'd like to know how many people put in for the RFP, what was their proposal, and what we've decided, because we're moving on things. And how do I know, I mean, maybe some people do know here, that we're picking the best person, and I think that's something that we should have. We don't talk at all. So, I mean, we don't want to talk at meetings, we don't talk between meetings, so I think the information, whatever you get, just like I put the emails out today to you and Mr. Ferraro, about information like lawsuits, and I see that we have a consultant that's being paid to talk to borough employees, acting as a borough administrator, but you're our borough administrator. And I don't understand why we're doing all this, and I clearly made it in the email to you today, and I think that that's something that the public should be made aware of. I don't understand why we're paying still Mr. Barberio to make phone calls and to work on a separation agreement for our prior borough clerk when you're our borough administrator. If you're not able to do the job, which I think you should be able to, I have a very serious problem, if you couldn't tell, about still paying someone to act as the borough administrator at $109 an hour and do tree inspections and to do emails to borough staff. That should be coming from you, not him. And there's no detail on the bill.
I will answer for you.
Excuse me, sir?
I will answer for you.
You'll answer me what?
What regarding about the bill, the Jerry bill.
So you're gonna make sure that I get all that stuff?
No, Jerry bill, before you join here, we already, passed our resolution because this is a transition time. He just, hired and he don't know about it. In case of an ongoing case, we're going to ask him, so that is a consulting basis. So we already made contract 109, something like that. And the tree removal, those kind of couple items, we already did it. That's we saving a lot of money. We paid Jerry almost $165,000, but this, we, switched about the position from the full-time to part-time.
We saved him money. I want to understand.
Maybe, overall, we are saving a lot of money.
Well, not if you look at the budget, but that's a different issue. But my question is, sir.
Before you joining, we already made the contract with him. That's it. Okay?
Okay, but so does that mean that's it? I'm not allowed to ask the question?
Councilman, can I
That's what your
You
administration's.
better understand about the contract, then we talk about it, okay? We
I
already
understand
made-
the contract.
Because this transition, we don't know about it.
I'm gonna let you finish, sir, so that you'll let me finish.
Okay, let's move on. We don't
No,
have
no, I'm not
time.
finished.
We
You're not gonna
always
interrupt
make an
me.
issue and
You're not
please
interrupting
read
me.
about it, our
Sir, it's
contract.
disrespectful.
And then you just appealed about this case. You didn't read about the contract and you just talking
Did
about
you
the
give me the
Norway.
contract? Did you share the contract with us?
We have a contract.
Did you share the contract with us?
Before you.
Did you? I've asked for the contract. I'm a councilman now, right? I've
You
asked-
just ask a
Can I
PA.
finish now, please?
No,
I
I
finish
don't have
now?
any reason.
Can I have a copy of the contract?
Yeah, give it to
Okay,
me.
can I please have a can I have another copy then? I'll ask for a copy every month. If I do, I want one. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter. I'm allowed to ask questions. You're not supposed to interrupt me while I'm asking questions until I'm done, just like I don't appreciate everybody else interrupting me. I'm trying to be respectful.
Can I answer your question?
And when I'm done, I'll let you answer it. But the mayor interrupted me, and he thinks that just because he talks that I'm done, and that's not fair. Because once again, we don't talk, we don't communicate between meetings, we're not Ms. Drummond and I, Dramones, councilwoman, I'll get it right, Ferrera, Dramones, whatever, my friend right here sitting next to me, we're not sharing information. And that's the bottom line that I'm trying to make and a point to you and everybody else. They don't care. You as the administrator should care. Anything that you get, he's only here to vote. Tell him he's not here to discuss stuff with us. So, that's all I'm asking.
Hold on, he wants the floor, hold on.
No, he doesn't have the floor, because the mayor runs the meeting, not you. And he doesn't want to communicate.
I am just
Yes.
relaying the message.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
okay. give
You
it.
put the microphone on.
Okay. Come on,
And let him
go.
talk as long as he wants.
Yeah.
Don't interrupt him, Mayor, please. My God.
Go ahead,
Okay.
Councilman.
Go ahead, Tim.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
The reason Mr. Barbario left is because of Mr. Luciano's belligerent behavior, which
Can you
is
speak
very
up,
well
Councilman?
documented.
Do you hear us?
That's number one.
Yeah, yeah.
Number
Hold
two,
on,
the
Tim,
contract.
Tim, we don't hear you well. What shall we do?
Yeah, he has to just be close, can you come closer to the mic?
Okay,
I thought he didn't want to contribute.
well, he does,
The
he's
reason,
right.
the reason Mr. Barbario left, and he was an outstanding administrator, was because of Mr. Luciano's belligerent behavior. Okay, that's number one. Number two, there was a contract in place, and Mr. Luciano is welcome to it, and he should just stop the grandstanding now. He has been missing in action for the entire month, and just today he starts sending these emails asking for information. He's done nothing this entire month. Meanwhile, the rest of us, like Rashid, Rivka, Philip Liang, who's worked very hard on the budget as well. Thank you, Mr. Liang, as the finance chair. And Mr. Mayor, under Mr. Mayor's leadership, we've done an extensive amount of work. And it's really, it's getting tiring at this point. It's old.
I know, he's just.
Everyone understands. You have a history, Glenn. You've done nothing all this time. You've produced nothing all this time. You're not even an elected official. Just go through the motions, and please just stop wasting everyone's time. It's really embarrassing at this point. I have nothing further to say. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, because the only one who just wasted our time was you.
Okay. Okay, just very quickly.
Yes, just to answer your question, Councilman, the health benefits consultant RFP, that was authorized last council meeting to go out, right? And then we had our opening. The bid tabulation was shared on Friday. Every Friday, our finance team works and sends every member of the council copies of the invoices every single Friday, not just leading into the Friday of the council meeting. And then there was those three sections of the bills, if I'm not correct, that was sent out on Friday, and then a supplemental one with professional services was provided by Schweb. So we did that. We provided it. We provided the bid tabulations. I'd be more than happy to provide it again. But there was I want to say about 5 or so that submitted, and we were able to go with this is the same provider that is also with our school district that provides health benefits consultant there to just research and conduct a market analysis of what is out there in the event that we want to look into our other options with the increased costs that are coming in. So the backup documentations has been provided in advance with everything else that's been going on. As the administrator, I'm allowed to work through the respective committees that I'm dealt with, that I'm provided, and to your question about Mr. Barbario's involvement, like the mayor alluded to, and I think what he was trying to also say was this was subject to a contract and a resolution authorization, and then we're working through with some of the projects that I need assistance with, and without getting into details of contracts and legal matters and things of that nature, there is a resolution that is being carried out and executed. So I'd be more than happy, like I said, I'm always available, Councilman, to any member of the governing body to answer the questions. That's how I always sign off my emails to each and every single one of you, and I'll be more than happy to assist and work things out with you.
I sent you a number of emails today. I don't expect you to have, I'm not like everybody else here. I don't expect to get information to you today and expect with the detail that I wanted for you to get back to me today, but it should be the same respect as to giving me, with your time, a supplemental bill list, and then be told that I'm wasting everybody's time by asking questions about the bill list that we got today, no matter what you want to identify it as, okay? So if I ask you for information, if you sent it before, great. Entertain me and send me the original one you sent me so that I could see, okay? Because we get so much garbage in our mail, okay? And I don't work full-time here. And if I overlooked it, I apologize. But you know what? It should just be, you know what, Councilman? I'll gladly send that to you instead of all this hyperbole about how it was sent before. Because to me, getting something this evening before the meeting isn't sufficient, no matter what you want to call it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your hard working, and you saved a lot of money for our, borough and our, okay. I really appreciate. Okay, next, Borough Attorney Bob, please.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to discuss the situation with the Chaffee Planning Board application that is ongoing. I know a lot of, can you hear me on this? Yes. And I know a lot of folks that are in the audience were present at the hearing. I must state at the outset that some people sent in their position by letter or email to the judge, and another judge looked at them. But the applicant has made a strong opposition to those items because they cannot be cross-examined. And I believe that the judge will rule on that. And to be certain that you'll be heard, I should state strongly that anyone who wishes to participate in the proceeding must either participate in person, as some of you have, or by Zoom, as others of you have. But just sending in a statement, there's a very good chance that your position may not be considered by the judge. With regard to that hearing was held recently, I believe it was August the 5th.
Yeah.
The judge was very swayed by a lot of the comments of our members of our public who spoke, and very eloquently. And it was good that that you folks appeared and presented your position. We objected to parts of the proposal, especially the one ingress and egress off of Bayview. We objected to the lack of buffers, and with regard to any potential future access on Fifth Street. There are a number of variances with regard to the application. The applicant presented 2 witnesses at the hearing. The applicant's architect testified about the building. The applicant's engineer testified about the site.
I'm just going to interrupt you because I just got a text that says there's no Zoom, no YouTube, no video.
The 2 council members are on, it's the only thing they care about.
I just want you all to know because I'm hearing from the public, because they can't get through and they're trying to.
Yeah, I just got it. Got grease.
Sure.
Okay?
Yeah, YouTube is live, it's showing over here on the OBS
Well,
system, and
it's
I'm
not
right here.
showing to people.
There are right now, what they're complaining about, Ms. Geiger, is that, and it's an issue, like I said, we're working on the system, we've had some instance systems, it was working when we were test driving it, it's a few days, and the Zoom is here. There are over, I think, 10 residents on right now. They're here, and then they got at least listen to the audio of what's going on.
What I just hear from 2 people, you heard them from 2 people. He said they can't get on.
They can't see the video, that's what they're saying here on the chat.
They say the message is, no Zoom yet, no YouTube yet, there is no. I don't know, I'm not
We're here.
saying what they're
Yeah.
saying. But you're imparting important information, so, to the public. It would be nice if the public could hear it.
So
Well, but it's a situation, so we have to
No, there's
continue.
no situation.
There is a situation, that's it, fine, let's continue.
Okay.
the voters, so the applicant presented their 2 witnesses. They have probably 3 more witnesses to go through. After that, and the cross-examination, we have our planner, our traffic consultant, and our engineer prepared to testify. And we have heard a lot of the concerns of the residents, and we intend to advocate those concerns on behalf of the borough's residents. So we have another hearing date on September the 9th at 9 o'clock at the courthouse in Bergen County, where the matter will continue. So please be present again if you can. It's very good to have your support. I have been in communication with counsel for the applicant, and I conveyed to the council what our major concerns are again, and I'm told that they are undergoing a review with the hope that they are going to reconfigure the project. So I expect to be receiving something before the 9th regarding a revised proposal, and I'm hopeful that it will include a ingress and egress on Sylvan. That's the,
Mr. Attorney?
yes, sir.
I know last month there was a question raised about Mr. Mistretta, and I just want to know, well, first off, when this plan was originally proposed, this council voted to have Mr. Mistretta put together a plan that meets every one of our zoning ordinances, that requires no variances within egress and ingress off of Fifth Street. I know Mr. Mistretta has it. We paid him for it. He was in consultation with their attorneys and their planners, which I believe they were even accepting it at the point, but now naturally you can see that they didn't. I just want to make sure that that plan that we paid Mr. Mistretta to put together that shows ingress and egress off of Fifth Street and meeting every one of the ordinances without any variances is at least going to be presented to the judge. Because I think that's very important. We paid for it, and if I hear that he doesn't, then I want to know why this council or our planning board or our attorneys are not putting forth that plan before the judge. I was there. I heard the judge. Not a big fan of Mr. Fair or Mr. Perino, but I heard the judge actually very eloquently took probably a lot of what our planner was going to object to. As you mentioned, the buffer, the ingress, egress, the judge mentioned wanting to have only an ancillary entrance off of Bayview. But I haven't seen anything, and Perino as well, yes. I haven't seen anything by the borough, and once again, our planner didn't get up there. So I'm not saying it's not the plan, but I wanted to be on record that I know about it, and I think that I strenuously would suggest that this planner and our attorney, yourself and Mr. Reagan, is it Mr. Reagan that's doing it? No, what's the,
Randall?
Mr. Randall, at least have our planner present that plan. Because I think that is really what they don't need no variances. You don't have anything coming off the highway, even though the judge, like he said, 8 houses down there, people pulled in and out of their driveway, so it's not a big issue. But I think...
I will speak with Mr. Mistretta about your comment, Mr.
Thank you,
Luciano.
sir.
Thank you, sir. I don't know, I haven't seen this plan that you're speaking of, but I assume it's...
Can you please, I'll have it, I think I have it somewhere, but
Please.
if you've
I'll
been
speak to
contacted,
Mistretta about
speak to
it.
Mr.
Yeah.
Mistretta.
will.
We sat right in that room,
Okay.
and we talked about, he could put, which he did, he put together a plan that, and it might be before the commercial space, so the density might be a little different, but he did put together a plan, because it was raised last month, we authorized it, because they came in with a plan.
Well, if you can send it to me, and I'll speak with Mr. Mistretta about it, sir.
They came in with a plan that no one liked, and Mr. Mistretta put together, this was coming in off of Sylvan, and at that time, we didn't like it, even
Oh,
off of Sylvan.
I have plans that they submitted in the past.
Oh, and the other thing, sir, if they submit something to us the night before the hearing, please make a strenuous objection on the record, because I don't think that's fair to you. I don't think it's fair to the residents. And when they do the Zoom meeting and you're showing exhibits, it comes up on Zoom, but everybody in the courtroom couldn't see it. So please be conscious of that when they're showing things and it's only on the Zoom that was facing the judge, that the people in the audience are able to see it so they can formulate proper questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you for sharing. And the next, our borough engineer, would you come up?
Good evening, Mayor.
Good
Good evening,
evening.
members of the council. Mr. Ferraro?
Yes, sir.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Is the bell correct?
Very good, thank you.
Good. Good evening, everyone. My name is Michael Minton. You might recall from the last meeting, I'm here this evening with Eric Place. I'm good. I'm fine. Yeah, I'm just. I'm just fine.
They're gonna need to hear you from the Zoom, that's why.
Thank you. Mr. Chowdhury discussed a lot of points that I raised, so in the sake of brevity, I won't repeat all the actions that are before you this evening in terms of resolutions for consideration or the road program. We're working hand in hand with the borough administrator on those projects. So no need to repeat that. Mr. Mayor, I'll just be brief. One thing we did want to touch on, just a few other points. The Hudson Terrace project is proceeding along. You see that. We're continuing to work and getting the site buttoned up. It's a phased project. Occupancy is to be phased. We're working with that, including the parking area. They're staging in the parking area. We need to get that back opened and accessible. So we're working through that right now. We're working with the tax collector on confirming the current sewer rates, and we should have a recommendation to Sean in the next few days. I think we're about ready to wrap that up as well. We continue to look and study certain stormwater areas along town, and as part of a more comprehensive plan for stormwater. That's been an ongoing project, and we're looking forward to making a report in the next 60 days or so as to recommendations as it relates to stormwater. It may well tie into your somewhat early indications will be that it may tie into some of your recommended capital appropriations in 2025. And lastly, I think one point that council raised at the last meeting, we were talking about sewer line replacements, and you had authorized us to proceed with certain replacements. Mr. Eric Clace of our office, he is the principal in charge of this account by contract. He just wants to spend a few minutes, very briefly, show what we've studied so far and what missing holes are in the study areas that we're going to be pursuing. So Eric, I'll turn it over to you.
Good evening. Again, Eric Clace from Gilmore Associates. If you want to hold this one? Yeah, sure. It's going to be a little bit hard to see, but I'm going to do my best to explain it. The area that was previously studied by the previous engineer we have in green.
Excuse me, may I suggest that you come over here,
Of course.
and then you can hold it on the end of the table, and then you can bring the mic over here as well inside. This way, members of the public can see the plan, and the council will all be able to see it as well. Just to make sure Mr. Luciano can see it. He's the last person on the dais. Mr. Luciano, you okay?
Last person, you don't want to see it.
Mr. Luciano, can you see it?
Yes,
Okay,
thank
good.
you, sir.
We're not reaching any conclusions today, we're just demonstrating the council study.
I understand, just so everybody can see.
So again, to repeat, the areas in green have been previously studied. Our firm has a proposal in for studying the areas in what I'll call like a light brownish color. We will be studying those areas.
What are they?
They're the ones that were excluded in the prior engineer's report, particularly along 9W, for the most part.
Correct. We're looking to study the full transmission line for the facility. Make sure there's
sanitary
sanitary sewer, but they're combined. It's stormwater gets into it.
This is just sanitary.
Oh, this one's just
There's
sanitary.
intrusion, but it's sanitary.
We don't have a crossover, but, so I apologize for interrupting.
No problem.
Out of all those streets, so it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe a half, maybe a dozen out of all of our streets is all that the other engineer had completed?
No, he had studied the whole area. These are his recommendations for repairs.
Thank you for the
You're welcome.
clarification.
You're welcome. What Mr. Clace had identified in the tan color is
Hasn't
those
been
things that were in the report that he excluded,
Mhm.
that if you're gonna look at the whole system,
You
we
have
can look
access
at,
to it.
and we'll prepare a proposal for the administration's consideration and ultimately make a recommendation at some point.
Correct. Okay. In addition to that, we have a proposal in. We'll do the work once it's approved, and then we will oversee any work we suggest if it kicks off.
So I just wanted to leave you with that. Yes, we heard your concerns 3 weeks ago. We have been on diligently. We do recognize the holes in the middle of the donuts, and we're prepared to address them with the administration.
Thank you.
And with that, I believe that concludes our report, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
Again, for the sake of brevity, we had a lot more, but I know that you carried on. I'm gonna take it, I'll get copies to Mr. Chowdhury,
I'll
tomorrow.
give you my email address, so I'm sure I get it. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Next, finance, okay. Finance CFO, please.
Good evening, Mayor and Council members. So tonight we have a public hearing on the budget amendment that was approved at the last month's meeting. And after the completion of the public hearing, we have clearance from the New Jersey Division of Local Government Services to adopt the budget as amended after the public hearing.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very
So we're
much.
gonna do that, okay. Thank you for your hard working. Okay, next, police chief, please come out.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
My My report is very short. We just saw each other 3 weeks ago. We're getting ready for the first day of school, which is on the 4th. We're beginning preparation for some of our security protocols, crossing guard, refresher training, and things like that. As the administrator mentioned, the earthquakes, no public safety concerns arose from either of those 2 events. As I mentioned, I was in communication with him, and as I mentioned, no news is good news in my world. So we have the Breaking AIDS bike ride coming through town on the 14th of September. Everyone received a letter from Mr. Epstein on June 25th notifying you of that. I'll remind you again at the September meeting, the 14th, which is a few days after next month. So
You're okay with that, chief?
yeah, they've come through town years in the past. It's not an organized ride. It's not an organized race. It's more of a fundraising bike ride.
How many participants approximately?
We basically 75.
Okay. Well, I guess one of my questions here, and I apologize for interrupting you, but since you brought it up, are we ever going to be able to do anything about the bikes on 9W? Because the right lane, I mean, I see in the other towns, I see Fort Lee stopping people if they're riding double. I sent you a picture. They're 4 abreast, 20 deep, and I don't know what it's going to take. Does it take someone to get killed before we do something? They're supposed to follow motor vehicle laws.
Are you making, insinuating that we do nothing? Is that with bike rides? No.
I don't, you sound like you have a guilty conscience. That's not what I'm insinuating at all. I'm just asking.
When is somebody going to do something?
Well, that's right, because you're sitting there saying that there's nothing we can do.
We stop bicyclists, we write tickets, we get on the PA, we remind them to ride single file. I put message boards out reminding them to ride single file.
But it's,
Unfortunately, here's the problem, because when you sometimes try to stop them,
they take off.
and there's no way to identify them, and they know that. And to be honest with you, if you want to talk about safety, it's actually safer for them to take the whole lane than to ride single file, because that's when people get hit. When you have a bike up against the curb, a car passing them, and another car, now 3 abreast, that's when the bicycle gets hit.
No, I understand, but what
So-
about
so
when you
actually
come, what
riding
about when
two-
you come around the bend and you don't see the bicyclist and you have a tractor trailer next to you and you're going 40 miles an hour and all of a sudden you come around a blind bend and there's a bicyclist in your lane?
I get it.
Okay, that's a big difference.
They're entitled to the roadway, it's a public roadway. Would I prefer them to ride single file? Sure. But you know what, as far as actually bicyclist strikes, it's actually safer when there's 2 or 3 abreast, because they take the whole lane and it only gives one car the ability to pass, and there's the dotted line with some space between the car and the bicycle.
So you'd rather have them take up the whole lane and on a highway than be able, I mean, I understand. there's
I
nothing
prefer
wrong
them to
with
find another route to get north. other than Englewood.
Then what I would like to know is can we designate a road off of 9W that takes them like up Floyd and around the park and out on Sage, which eliminates the whole hazard area on 9W?
Can you force them onto that route? No.
So I can ride my bicycle, if I know, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but they don't go on the Palisades.
No.
That's a highway. They're prevented from going on there.
Correct.
9W is a highway. What will it take to stop them from going on 9W?
DOT.
DOT, okay, thank you. Thank you.
DOT has authority on restrictions like that.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. August 26th, 2 to 4 p.m., we'll be hosting our annual Cone with the Cop event. For those of you who are not familiar with that, that's similar to Coffee with the Cop, except we do it with ice cream. For kids, we offer a little tour of some of our police vehicles and things like that. So hope to see everybody there that day. Probationary Officer Rossi and Probationary Officer Voorhees are progressing through their field training. They're on about week 7 at this point, give or take. They're both doing very well. I expect them to be on their own within the next 2 months. PPO Lyon and PPO Sullivan are also up in the Police Academy doing well. And the final thing I'll mention is you all probably have seen one of the resolutions for the Verizon poll agreement. Mr. Ferraro, thank you for your work on that. Hopefully that will pass tonight and Mr. Mayor will sign that agreement. That is in furtherance of our license plate reader program. Once that agreement is signed, Sergeant Lee, my ALPR coordinator, will start working on deconfliction processes, and after that, implementation. Funding is in place for that project. There's some 2024 capital, as well as some funding from the Parks. That concludes my report. Anybody have any questions?
Any question? Okay, thank you for your hard working and, okay, a public portion later on, okay? Yes. Okay, next OEM.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Sends his regards from the warm state of Florida. He's on a lovely vacation. As we discussed last meeting on the community center, I'd like to have the EMS come back like they were before. It saves a lot of time. So if we can get that community center opened up, let the crews come in, it will be a big plus for town, the borough. The ID cards, as mentioned every time, if anybody needs an ID card, one of the council people, just have to get Lieutenant Tracy, put all the information in, and then you have to travel to either Malawa or Hackensack. Lieutenant Tracy's working with the borough administrator, trying to get climate into our new system and alleviate us from the next cell, which will be January. Yes. Okay. As far as the weather, as the borough administrator stated, there's a false alarm on the rain event. We'll use that as a drill for our planning and also for our emergency operation plan. And we'd like to formally thank the borough administrator and DPW for all work they did. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And the next, fire department.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. As the police chief said, we just saw each other 3 weeks ago, so I really don't have a lot to report. Just some upcoming events that the fire department's taking care of. We're doing an electric vehicle fire extinguishment demonstration with some manufacturers for some new type of fire nozzles, and we're going to invite some surrounding towns to join us on that. We've also acquired some tools for electric vehicles. That seems to be, no pun intended, the hot spot with regards to, fire-related emergencies these days.
What's the date of that, sir?
It's going to be next Thursday.
Next Thursday, thank you.
On just a couple of other notes, I've shared with the Public Safety Committee as well as the Borough Administrator some requests for ordinances as well as personnel matter that I'd just like to see if we can move and make progress with, and that I'd be happy to discuss that, going forward with that. But other than that, I have nothing else. Thank you.
Thank you.
What's the status of
Okay.
your ladder truck? What's the status of your ladder truck?
2028.
It's in production?
No, it's in the queue. There's a job number been assigned,
Okay,
so.
thank you. Thank you, sir.
Okay, next, the building department, please.
Good evening, Mayor and Council.
Good evening.
Just want to let you know a couple items. Residential, we started a couple more new homes going up. As far as the commercial work, which is good, some good news is some of the office buildings that they had empty spaces are starting to fill up. They have leases, there's construction starting, which is a good sign, because it's very hard to lease the office spaces on 9W. And then so they shut down and we have bigger issues with affordable housing. The 800 Sylvan is moving along, trying to get it done as fast as we can, especially up by school area. So we don't, I tried to get a couple more buildings up in that area, because once school starts, it's a little difficult with the construction. And I know we have a couple of issues. I know they were talking about the radio transmission. which was trying to come with a plan with that. Because we have an issue with the radio transmission in the new buildings that are going up. I don't know much about it, something was changed, and we're working on that. Because next door to the Borough Hall, those buildings are nearing completion. They're right on schedule. The smaller building is complete, except for the radio transmission. And the larger building, by December, I believe everything should be done. The borough engineer's been out there often, they got the outside, they're landscaping it, and the parking lot next to the community center is completed. And luckily, we got a handicap ramp out of that whole deal, which would have cost us a lot of money. So, and that's about it.
So the parking that is now like an angular parking next to the administration building next door,
Yeah,
are those our parking spaces or they're their parking?
that's their parking space.
So they're gonna need to access our property to
Yeah.
get to their spots.
Yeah, the way it was originally designed, they would come in underneath our building and around, and they would park.
What if we park there?
Excuse me?
Is there gonna be signage that says it's for that?
Otherwise, we'll be.
Yeah, 'cause
That's their problem. I know, it's not our problem.
I mean, but it wasn't mandated that they put signage there.
I gotta look a little
You don't
closer.
know? Okay.
But like I said,
Okay.
that's an issue that they're gonna have the problem because their tenants are gonna, it's always gonna be in their spots. Same thing with the community
Yeah,
center.
gonna be in our spots too.
That's another, that's a
Well, all the
problem.
ones
for
at the
us.
community center are now theirs.
All the ones in the community center are theirs. It's just that when the people come to use the community center, it's gonna take a little while. There'll be signs up, and we're gonna try and figure out a way to get them in the back.
But technically, we vacated the spots that we were supposed to have over there, and we let them have them all.
Yeah.
Because originally, I think there was 11 spots that we were supposed to have, so now we're gonna open a community center, and we have no spots, but, okay, thank you.
Do you know when we expect some occupancy over there?
Well, I believe the only thing I'm hoping, I gave the TCOs the reasons as far as the financing, but they really, I'd like to get the radio transmission fixed, which we just signed the contract, which I believe they can explain some of the ordinances to the fire department as far as all the buildings.
What do you mean radio transmission?
What is
For the radios, for the EMS, fire department, and the police.
They agreed to put radio signal or antennas up there?
They have to have that.
Oh, okay.
It's just that there was some changes, I believe, that
Mr. Mayor, is that right if I speak?
Yes.
he can probably explain.
Okay, I'm sorry, first time hearing it. I just
Yeah,
wanted to
okay,
make sure.
okay. Thank you so much.
What Gino was saying.
Gino, wait, she has one question.
What Gino is saying is that new building codes past 2019 require what's called in-building radio systems
Interior
for first
repeaters.
responders, basically interior repeaters. And the contractors for both the Hudson Terrace project as well as 800 Sylvan are required to comply with that. As part of that, they need to maintain interoperability with police, fire, EMS, and also the Bergen County radio system. Based on the independent company's analysis at both locations, they do need some type of technology. In terms of the ordinances that I had submitted to Intishan and the Public Safety Committee, this would be something that would mirror what Edgewater, Fort Lee, Cliffside all have adopted, which would make these requirements retroactive to existing buildings that we currently have difficulty or extreme difficulty in using our emergency radio systems in these buildings. These would be like larger buildings like CNBC, 700 Sylvan, 560 Sylvan, all the way down the road. These are 910 through 940 Sylvan. These are buildings in which our first responder radios for both police, fire, EMS are basically just ineffective inside the building because of the construction.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Are they able to take any occupancy without these functioning?
They can, but we try and hold off. We were waiting a couple of months for it.
Are they legally able to take residents without those, that's all I understand what we're trying to work with them, it's ours, but I just want to know.
I mean, Gino has the ability, the flexibility of a TCO on this.
Not
So-
CCOTs, right? Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, this is something that just so long as it's in place before actual living residents
Or
are.
for the CCOs. You'll have people living there, just on certain limitations. Okay, thank you. You have a question? Okay.
I did have a question. I've been trying to find out, people have been asking me about 190, 210, 220 Sylvan. Is that our next site for fair share housing? Because that's the word that's out there. What is going on in that building?
I don't know, I don't know anything about that.
Councilwoman, that in the fourth round of affordable housing is part of the inclusionary zone. That's all we have. There's no movement on that. It's still owned by somebody right now. And,
But
you know,
Mr. Barbario's been there. What are we looking at?
no, Mr. Barbario is looking in there in terms of a potential research project that we're looking into as a potential site for some other, some area of technology, in terms of what to provide me, what I need to get from the assessor in terms of to understand the landscape of the property a little bit better, just advising me a little bit more.
Wait, so that means we would be using, we'd be?
No, not us, the borough. Just in general, in terms of, in order to facilitate a potential, it's too early to chat about it now because it was a conference call, it's on the bills list because he was advising me in terms of what to do in terms of, to get that.
How does he know about it?
No, in terms of what to do about the property,
This is
as
what I
well, in
raised.
terms of block and lot. So that's all I'm getting. I'm just getting information. There's nothing more about, what we're doing in that area. It's just to understand the block and lot a little bit better and the assessment. That's all it is.
Maybe we should think about, we're waiting to vote on the second vote for that overlay zone. Maybe we should think about it. Because it is a potential spot for the next fair share
Well,
housing.
let's be honest. Everything that we had to do for the last fair share housing, that all of them complained about the overlay zone, we're having to do the same, their majority right now has to do the same exact thing that we had to do. They're not complaining about it. You know why? Because the state is mandating it. But for the past 7 years, 8 years, they've been harping and harping about this overlay zone and how we're helping our friends. We're helping our friends, okay? But now, the only remaining lots in our town on Palisade, on 9W, and Palisade, north of Palisade, are now, because, and I'm not blaming them, like they were blaming us, because the state's mandating it. But you won't ever hear them retract about saying how we were helping our friends, okay? We were mandated by the state, just like they're being mandated right now. But you hear the crickets? Cricket, 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 cricket. Because they're doing the same thing that was forced on us. But Tim Katrubis, you'll hear from Greece, and, you know, he'll chirp in on something. He didn't want to discuss anything.
Okay.
Okay, Mayor,
Yes, please.
Mayor, we would like to answer this
Oh,
one
yeah,
first.
okay, yes.
You must be the secretary.
I'd rather not engage with Mr. Luciano because anything that he says can't be believed to begin with.
Well, you're a liar anyway, so what's the difference?
There's a stark difference. Is he continuing or am I continuing? I don't know what's going on.
You can talk.
There's a very big difference between what we had to do. I mean, he keeps talking. I don't understand what's going on.
Okay, you can talk. You can talk, it's okay. You have
There's
to
a very big difference between what we had to do and what they did back in 2019. Let's be very clear, Mr. Luciano, okay? This was mandated by state law. Are you proposing that we break the law? I don't know. We certainly were not prepared to do that. What you did was ram through some settlements at 2 o'clock in the morning when it was not mandated by state law, despite having an election 30 days prior and letting the people speak. And you do know. And the lawyers that you hired, sir, after we brought in the lawyers, not we, because I wasn't there, but after the previous, when the mayor brought in these new lawyers last year, the way that it was explained was that they had never witnessed a level of unprofessionalism that they had in their entire lives. Okay, you should be You don't have the floor, sir. You should be completely embarrassed by the way that you have conducted yourself. So let's just please end the charade. Let's just stop wasting people's time. Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you. And the next is Department of DPW, Mark Neville. He got a personal issue and he's gonna submit report to clerk maybe next day. Okay. And the recreation?
Yeah, I have his report.
Okay, please.
The recreation director apologizes for not being able to attend in sense regards, but I have his report in front of me for this month. Summer camp was highly successful. The recreation department had 120 campers. The 5K is scheduled for September 7th. The timing company, Department of Public Works, and Police are all coordinated, and they are also planning to coordinate to coincide with some key dates to meet some deadlines to make sure everything's running smoothly. Trader Joe's, Whole Foods have expressed an interest in supporting the Englewood Clips 5K, and our traditional sponsors are also lined up to participate. Vendors, medals, and t-shirt vendors are all being coordinated. Soccer begins September 2nd. Registration has begun and it's been already advertised. We're finalizing arrangements and logistics, so we're on track to get things going for the program. Volleyball also begins in September, and we're evaluating equipment in an effort to be able to participate at home in official games. I do want to convey our thank you to the Englewood Clips School District in terms of the netting project as well as the summer camp for being such gracious partners, Dr. Brower and the entire Board of Education.
And how much we paid.
Partners to us. The Englewood Cliffs Day, EC Day, is scheduled for Friday, October 17th from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Whitty Field. And we're structuring and coordinating food vendors, display vendors, events, and entertainment and rides for family and children. We are also working with a new Parks and Rec portal called through Edmunds instead of Community Pass to structure facility requests, including the forms through that portal, as well as other requirements to consolidate our efforts to ensure compliance when we're doing sports registrations, class registrations, programs that the Recreation Department does, as well as facility requests at our open space facilities like Whitty Field. We're also coordinating with PTA for our Halloween event, including trunk or treat, and adults men basketball is also set to begin this fall. We're making plans to decorate with wreaths at the field in the fall as well. That is the extent of the Recreation Director's report. I can also forward it.
Mr. Chowdhury, can you please, I've requested multiple times over multiple years, and I think now it's fresh, I see some really, really large bills that went through for recreation, and I'd like to know what the expenses versus the revenue that just took place for the summer program, because it seems as though, I don't want the summer program to end, but I think we need to be efficient. And I've been asking every year for breakouts of every one of our sports programs. I was told, I don't know, a year and a half ago by a councilwoman that it would be taken care of. I've yet to see one. So I take that back. I think I seen one. But if we could get a salary, expenses, income from, I don't want to call it a profit and loss statement, because if you call it a profit and loss statement, someone over there on the phone is going to say, I'm looking to attack recreation. No, what I'm looking to make sure is that our tax money is spent wisely. So we need to analyze all of our programs. So that's why, if you can give me a detailed breakout of what we spent, because 16,000 here, 10,000 there, movie night, opening the park, 16,000, movie night, 5,000. So I just want to know, I need an analysis of that. If you could kindly provide that to us, I'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Mayor, may I please have the floor?
Yes, please. Yes.
Yes.
So, please give Mr. Luciano whatever he's looking for. He's entitled to have that, and I want him to analyze that. I just want to make it clear to the public that yes, I am the rec chair. There is no greater supporter of the recreation department than this mayor and his administration. And I thank you for allowing me to take that role again, Mr. Mayor. And I just want the public to understand that despite us possibly spending more money. I always believe that that's always money that's well spent, and I'm going to continue to I'm going to continue down that path unless this mayor and council tells me differently. I'm very happy with our new rec director. The public should also understand that the recreation department was, prior to me joining the council, the recreation department was completely abandoned, and we resurrected it. I was very proud of the work that the former director, Marco Sango, did. He basically had to bootstrap everything, and he started with zero and built it up to what it is today. I know that there's some challenging communications going on these public forums, attacking my integrity and the work that I had done. It's unfortunate. I don't believe that this rec department would have been where it is today without the work that we have done. And I'm really very thankful for Daniel Doubleman and the work that he's done. I think that he's done an outstanding job, and he continues to have the support of this mayor and his administration. And, you know, I really want to thank Rivka Biakaz for her support in terms of making sure whatever the rec department needs is on the agenda. I also want to thank Rashid Patel, who is also on the rec committee, who is very engaged and very receptive to all these ideas and programs that we're putting through. And, you know, I just... I'm sorry, does Mr. Luciano have the floor as he's continuing, or do I have the floor?
You have the floor, continue.
With his, it's unfortunate that he has to continue with these backhanded comments instead of just remaining silent, because we really have had to deal with a lot, and it's not easy, especially when you're in transition, and it especially was not easy considering that it was his behavior, because we lost our former administrator, and the public really needs to understand.
Well, I'll gladly wear that badge if that's true.
Okay, yeah, it is true.
68,000 would do nothing.
Okay, so
80,000 to 168,000. I'd gladly take that badge that he left because of me.
Okay, so if I can continue, it was what the public should really understand.
Mayor, 5 minutes is up. Right? How do you just drone on and you stop me every single time?
May I continue, Mr. Mayor? So I just want the public to understand that when you lose an administrator, it's extremely difficult to try to go out and find qualified people that have to deal with the behavior that you're witnessing tonight, as an example. And okay, so somebody had to go out there and do that work. It certainly wasn't Patrick Mullins, and it certainly wasn't Glenn Luciano, because it's, you don't know that, and you don't know much of. I don't even want to get into it, but you do not know that. Okay.
We end this.
Okay, thank you, okay, Mr. Petrovitz. Okay, barely hear you, or would you? Okay, everybody stop it, and then let's move on, okay? Thank you.
Just one final thing, Mr. Mayor, if it's okay. I just really want to make sure that, you know, I really want to thank the new administrator for all the work that he's done, because he's been an intricate part in terms of making this administration a success. And thank you very much, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, thank you. I need a motion to open public comment. As you know that we have a 5-minute public comment time limit. All in favor to open?
Motion.
Make a motion. And the second?
Second.
All in favor? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, aye.
Who's keeping time?
Any opposed?
Because I looked at the video, you cut me off at 4 minutes.
No, this public portion is always 5 minutes. Me.
Okay.
Okay, I just want to be sure. I want to
If we have a motion to open to the public, we have a motion.
We made already.
Second already,
Second, we do.
all in favor?
Everybody vote?
5.
Yes.
All in favor?
Okay,
Mayor,
okay.
we have public members from, on Zoom as well, but I think it'd be best in the interest that we start with the people from
Yes.
here in the audience, and then that way I can focus
Yes.
on unmute and stuff like that, so.
Okay.
If you want to begin with people in the audience in person first.
Okay, anyone want to speak? Okay, come up, please. Okay, your name and address, please.
But, here?
Yeah.
Yeah, just speak up, you can start the Zoom as well. Okay.
My name is Kenny Bowen. I live at 508 Floyd Street. While it's fresh after Tim's Zoom call, I just want to know what the protocol is for council members engaging the public on social media. Like, literally, Tim attacked me when I asked him basic questions like, what is the maintenance plan for the parks? Because there are weeds all over in the fields. Like, he goes after public, neighbors in the town. Like, it's despicable behavior, should not be allowed by a council member. That being said, what is the park maintenance plan? Because he never gave an answer. He's the rec director, he's the chair of the rec department. He's done all this work for the parks, which supposedly he wasn't there for a lot of it. But he has how else do we get this information on who's maintaining the parks?
Welcome to our world.
Do you have records of who attends all the rec meetings, who attended all the park meetings? Because I don't believe Tim was very active.
We tried to get him, we couldn't get him.
Because he
Okay,
claims to
okay, go ahead.
have achieved all.
Please stop, this is public portion, first, please stop. Stop it, stop it, public portion, okay? He is a speaker, well, stop it. That, I already gave a warning to her, so stop it.
Kenny,
I'd like to also know who is responsible, like, I don't know how it works. Who is responsible for hiring a rec director? And who is responsible for getting them prepared to do their job in a proper manner?
well, not us, because we had nothing to do with it.
The new rec director, he's the nicest guy in the world. Dan is a great guy. He was left with nothing, like no plan. And Tim, the rec department, he is not preparing him properly. I know the tennis courts were on the agenda today. I was wondering what the plan is with renewal, and are we gonna fix these courts so they're playable, or are we just gonna renew it and let the weeds grow?
It's not ours.
But
we're leasing it.
why would we lease it if we can't use it? That's the point. Lastly, what is the protocol for filing a complaint against a council member?
Ethics.
Ethics and Police Department. They're not going to answer any of your questions. Mayor will tell you it's not a question and answer time, but.
So you answer, you know everything.
So to get questions answered from the town, we
Yes.
go to
The manager.
the borough administrator.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
No,
Yes.
I didn't know that.
that you get an answer.
Thank you for your time, appreciate it.
That's all, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next, please. Okay, yes, come out, please. State your name and,
Hello, everybody. My name
Okay.
is Harry Kalajian. I live at 374 Forest Drive. First of all, I'd like to thank our new administrator. Most best of luck. It's been nice meeting you. About 5 years ago, PSE&G tore up my street, Forest Drive, and they repaved it at a lower grade. It was a problem in terms of irrigation up against the curb. I got a citation from the town that was later, after I objected, pulled back because the weeds were growing in the street. And after some debate, I got PSE&G because they had about a 3-inch lift there for me to get in and out of my driveway. They came, they tore up about a 1-foot piece and graded it so that I could get in and out. Then about 3 years ago, 2.5, 3 years ago, the section in front of the driveway broke up. Mr. Barbario was there, witnessed it, he saw it. I think it was 4 years ago it happened, but 3 years ago he witnessed it. Anyway, Mark Neville suggested that we put in a new curb. I didn't think that that was gonna work. I said, PSE&G did this, why don't we get them to fix this? I even volunteered to get on the phone to do this. And I was told, no, we'll do it. He didn't do it, or he wasn't successful. Anyway, a new curb was put in, And instead of making the situation better, it made it worse. In sections, it's supposed to be 6 inches, it's as much as 8 inches. I just looked at the front of my house. While the growth isn't as bad as it once was, it has come back as I had anticipated, because putting a curb up against a blacktop is almost impossible. But that 3-inch lip that was there before has been there now for 2 years. No, I was told 2 years ago from Mark Neville that would be fixed. I was told last year from Mr. Barbera, I came before you last year, multiple times, okay? I was said,
It's wonderful.
and the first time I was told, well, it's December, we can't do it, you're the first on the list. Then next year, I was here several times, I was told it'll be taken care of. It was never taken care of. We got to December, I got to saying you're next on the list. I came into your office in May, I called in June, and I also have spoke to you in July. And now I'm told, in May I was told, well, you're on the list, PSE&G were having discussions. Nobody, you didn't get back to me, okay? You didn't get back to me in June. July, we spoke, you were gonna get back to me, but during that conversation, I was told, oh, well, you're not on PSE&G's list, you may be on the town list. So it's, I mean, this is ridiculous. It's been years. Nobody cares about me going in and out of that driveway with my car, which is getting damaged. It's supposed to be repaved. Morrill Road, which is 1 block over, is repaved. Rock Road was repaved, which goes right into Forest. They didn't even need it, and nobody was requesting it. So I want to know what's going to happen. When is this going to be done? I mean, are we going to have this conversation again in December? I mean, do we get it done?
Okay, yeah, okay. Why don't you check it one more time, PSNG, and then let me know. Let me know. Okay.
I think you need an engineer to look at it.
No, let's back up. We've gone through the baloney with the engineer.
No.
Yes, we have. No, maybe not.
I'm just.
The town, no.
Because everybody's fixing and nothing's getting fixed.
I'm gonna address that, all right? Mr. Barbario came out with the engineer, I forgot his name, all right? They were all in agreement. It's just that this never gets done because nobody's behind it and pushing it. It seems like a random thing as to who pays which road. And I'm sorry, that's poor administration, poor management. Maybe, you know, the town seems to be great about hiring consultants. Maybe you want to hire me. I'm probably the most qualified person you'll find in this town. Most people here know my resume. You can find me on TV also, or you can watch what I write, all right? So I'm qualified. I'm willing to be a consultant for a fee, because this is ridiculous. It's been 5 years. So is there any answer to this?
Okay, we're gonna study about it. Okay, Mr. BA, would you check it with the PSNG? Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to hear, I'm going to get back.
Okay,
I want a date.
Perry, Mark Neville, earlier in the meeting, you missed it. Mark Neville had an emergency. He's been out the last week. He's been not present. When I spoke to you on the phone, I immediately went to Mark Neville. I have to rely on my department.
Can I ask you a question? What happened to, for the last 2 years, I've been hearing PSE&G, you're next on the list.
Okay,
last time we spoke, you said, no, that's not the case now. So what's
with the gas main restoration for phase 2 is not where you were on the list for the work that they did in September. So what I'm telling you is you did work beyond, like you were probably phase 1 or even earlier than you did the work. So that's where when I talk to Mark, when I get him in person, we meet and we have a discussion, he's already aware. You know, I asked him also to follow up as well, because I know you also stopped it today as well. I asked him to reach out if he has a chance. I know he wasn't in the office. When we have that discussion, we're going to talk about how to address it with PSE&G. There's a whole host of issues with PSE&G already.
2 years ago, supposedly they had approved it. So what's there to address it this point?
I understand.
And you know how you get them to do it? I've told you this for 2 or 3 years. First of all, I'm sure I could have gotten on the phone and negotiated. And 2, you just cut their...
Time is up. Okay. Time is up. Next, please. Next one. Next, anyone interesting? Come up, please. Yes, come up, please.
I'm Martin Geiger, 270 Alphabet Street. I have a couple of items. First, the borough administrator certainly has a packet of the resolutions in front of him. And as I mentioned last time, there's a lot of carelessness that goes into this, that evidences itself in this. The very first resolution, 25-171, the one about hiring wireless communication consultant. The very first whereas clause. There is a need for wireless telecommunication consultant services to accomplish for the borough of Englewood. To accomplish what? Fifth whereas the rating committee has reviewed the submittals and rated according into the direction. What rating committee do we have? What's the
It's
rating?
competitive contracting, that's the way you structure it, you have a
Well,
committee, and then that's how you do it.
Who's the committee? Who's on the rating committee?
It was myself, the assistant CFO, and.
Please don't interrupt. You have plenty of time.
I know, but I
to respond to me after you're done. In fact, there are a lot of errors. One of the errors that I keep noticing is this man who you hired as the borough administrator now calls himself the business administrator. I don't think that's correct. He should go by the title he's appointed by and not be sending out official notices under a different title. He persists in claiming that it doesn't matter. I think it matters. And I'm sure it will matter when it comes time to pay him his 3-month severance when he loses the job eventually. Wireless telecommunications also, you're giving them a 5-year contract? Why would you give them a 5-year contract, a firm you've never done business with before? How about a 1-year contract at most? Why a 5-year contract? That would seem absurd. Why would we wouldn't do that?
Which resolution is that, please?
First I'm standing. First one that I'm looking at, 71, is it? Number 25-171.
Is that a recommendation by the technology committee, or how do we come
No,
up with
that
5
was,
years?
that was the QPA, in order to structure it, it's a 5-year competitive contract in order to do it that out.
And who
Okay,
signed
now go on,
that?
please. Please don't count that against my time. Resolution 25-173 about a lease with 900 Sylvan. Borough of Englewood Cliffs has been leasing a property to certain property. We've been leasing a property to certain property. Gibberish. Nobody rereads these things. Our current lease, it says, will expire December 31, 2026, and we'll extend the lease for another year through December 31, 2026. Folks, read your resolutions. It's gibberish, just gibberish. He's authorizing a lease agreement. For how long? 1 year? What are the terms? What is it costing us? And where is a copy of the lease agreement? You should see that.
Hold on.
I assume the resolution giving Gilmore $60,000 is just to memorialize the fact that what they're getting paid, and that will be paid from the bond issue for the streets that you have before you this evening. There's a resolution 25-176 for this HRA company. He's explained already why you want to do this, but it refers to a memorandum of agreement in the form attached here too. Do any of you have the form of a memorandum of agreement? No. Thank you. I didn't think so.
We don't take.
I would like to know, just following up with Mr. Susano, just, I have no objection to the borough spending plenty of money for recreation, but I'd like to know exactly how much we have to pay for those movies that were shown at Woody Field, the 2 or 3 movies back earlier this summer, and how many people actually attended. If we're paying $2,000 to rent the movie, plus the ancillary costs, overtime and so on, and 8 people are showing up, it may not make too much sense to continue that phase of the recreation program. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Next, please. Next one. Next one, please. Okay. Yes, Ms. Karen Geiger, please come out.
Few things. Copy of the bill list. There's no copy that the public has gotten of a copy of what's on the bill list other than the totals. So there's no way for the public to question anything, and we don't know who signed off on anything on here.
We don't sign off on
On the
anything.
other thing, CFI, you just mentioned, sir, that they had issues about submissions from residents going directly to the court. I would suggest that perhaps, since we have a list, since Ms. Scancarella sent it all to the court, you contact the individuals who did it and ask them to appear in court next time. This is not a difficult thing to finesse. People are very upset about this project as it's presently being done, and they can be contacted as opposed to relying on those of us in the public. in the not working Zoom or the somewhat working Zoom. Mr. Barbario's departure. I am tired, as a resident, of sitting and hearing constantly that Mr. Luciano was the reason that Mr. Barbario went to Little Egg Harbor. Little Egg Harbor, or Egg Harbor City, is less than a half an hour from Mr. Barbario's home. The timeline said very clearly, because I listened to each of their public meetings, that they heard from Mr. Barbario that he came up with the idea of putting together 2 jobs and fashioning one for himself. And that was before Mr. Luciano was even on the appointment list. So please, let's stop making up stories. He left for a better job, he's paid more money there, and he's closer to home. Let's leave it at that, as opposed to blaming people. Another item, the court.
Grumbling?
The court, as far as what happened with 800 Sylvan and the current problem with the 4th round. This is the only town that I know of whose target for the affordable housing target exceeds the numbers that the state gave us, because you came up with a cockamamie plan that doesn't work. It's the square peg in the round hole that you created, Mr. Mistretta created, that the judge is now grappling with in the other hearing. It's the same thing emulated throughout Sylvan Avenue. It doesn't work, it's bad, and it creates more housing. We give a density of 24 instead of 19, and if you add it all up, we exceed our state target. Good job. Good job. And as far as the difference, Mr. Katrubis, if you're listening, there was a big difference between the settlement agreements and what you're facing right now. The basic difference is that Judge Gallipoli, yes, that judge who's here in the CFI, that's how we recognize so many of us. Judge Gallipoli gave the attorneys 5 days or 7 days to put together a plan. And if not, he was going to go and listen to and uphold the court order. The court order was for 870-something units at 800 Sylvan. So please, don't share your ignorance of what happened. The fact that you also were dealing with a court order to get it together. That is not what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with state law. And you didn't deal with the exceptions that you could deal with in the state law. As far as resolution 25-168, I assume that will be charged to the capital budget, because those were part of the park plan. The other resolutions that I have, let's see, more problems. Sorry. Can't turn this thing.
Yes, this is coming from the park budget.
You might be helpful to put it in there if you're talking to the capital budget. Brown and Brown, okay, that was answered, okay. CC Wireless Communications, once again, to do what? 5 years? Why are we ever getting into a 5-year commitment to anybody? Yeah, time is up, because it doesn't really make sense to listen to the public who reads the garbage heap for that.
Again, we started?
Okay, next person, please.
Can I be recognized, Mr. Mayor, please?
Okay, this is public portion now. Okay, yes, come out, yes.
Excuse me?
Yeah. Yes, no, he's coming out.
No, he did, he spoke already.
No, he's
Smoke is the
as a resident, you are coming as a resident, yeah. Yes.
They just want to go home.
Did somebody leave their phone here?
Karen, no. Artie's, it's all right.
Andrew Nick, 54 Elm Street. I'm speaking as a resident, not as fire chief.
Okay, chief.
A couple of meetings ago, I brought up the issue that there's a deer problem in Englewood Cliffs. Myself, my neighbors, everybody is basically having their vegetation destroyed by deer. basically just given up planting nice things in front of my house because they wanted to destroy it.
Yep.
I really would like, I know I've spoken to Mark, and, you know, he's just very busy with everything else, that maybe this borough can consider looking at requesting proposals for some type of deer control. I know the services exist out there, but I think you'd make a lot of residents very happy that don't have to replace their plantings
Thank you.
almost on a yearly basis, and it's sort of common sense that we can do.
Thank you very much. I can think about it.
Tell them to go on 9W to buy
Thank you.
service.
Okay, next, okay, yeah.
Okay, for the participants in Zoom, if you're listening, I'm going to start with the folks that either raise their hand. And I believe the telephone numbers are already unmuted, but I'm going to begin with EC resident. Just going to ask you to unmute. Just your name and address for the record, please. Give me 1 second.
That's,
Go ahead, Ms. O'Shea.
I only got to hear the two council members.
I would have been with you tonight, but I have to muffle through this concoction that you have connected here, because I came down with COVID about an hour before I did, so you're all been spared, but I didn't sprinkle it around the council chamber. A couple of things. I'm going to try to go through this quick because I don't know where to start. I was at the court on the day of the hearing in Hackensack all day, and Judge Galopoli, was very, very courteous to everybody that was there speaking, either in person or on Zoom. But I was very disappointed in our attorney, Mr. Ferrara, and Mr. Mistretta, and Mr. Randall, because not one of them, the three of them, challenged the CFI experts, the architect, or the engineer. They just sat there and took it all in and didn't challenge them. Now, I blame Mr. Mistretta for this abomination of a plan, because he's the one who was saying that we need mixed use in the overlay zone. Mixed use increases the coverage from 19 units per acre to 24 units an acre. And then when you have commercial property, retail property on that, in that combination of the mixed use, you have a much higher parking requirement than you do for the residences, which is 2 spots per unit. Now, the commercial resident retail space is supposed to be 1,500 square feet. There's over 9,000 square feet of retail space in this complex. Okay, it's too big. It's too much, and I have to say that it's totally out of line, and I don't know who is giving the marching orders to the attorneys, both attorneys, Randall and Mr. Ferrara, and Mr. Mistretta, to accommodate this. This is a signal of what we're going to deal with all the other overlay zones if this is allowed to continue. But they had to feel that they had a very good chance of getting this through with the judge, that the town was not going to object to this, because otherwise they would not have proceeded. They had come into the planning board previously, never had, and kept going back to the drawing board, never came to a vote. And they had a much smaller proposal of a building in the middle of the property, and no retail space in it, and they didn't destroy the parking. You have a 25-foot buffer on 5th Street. You have a 20-foot buffer on the north side of the property backing up on the Bayview Avenue residence. And if there was to be any drive or pass-through onto Bayview, there's a 20-foot buffer along the west side of that house there. They eliminated all the buffers to like 6 inches, 5 inches, 9 inches. It's absurd. It's totally absurd. And in conjunction with this, the applicants, the people, keep talking about 5th Street being a paper street. And Fran got up and said, a paper street, it's not a paper street, it's not approved, but it's been on the borough maps for over 100 years, which is true. And or to be assessed. Now, Geoffrey didn't like that idea because he said, I'm not using that street, why should I have to pay for it? Or something to that effect. My memory is not that good, but he has a lot of frontage on Fifth Street, he doesn't really want to pay for it. And I think that Fifth Street, Englewood should not have an unapproved street like that. Now, I have some questions about.
Ms. O'Shea, your time is
Time
up.
is up, but we got what you said.
You know, the law talk, this does not work to have 5 minutes, because you put out an agenda that I printed, it's over 30 pages, and there's many items in here I wanted to speak about.
Ms. O'Shea, no, unfortunately, we have to.
Let her speak.
Next speaker, please, if you could state your name and address for the record, please.
The judge can let us all speak and you can't.
If you'd like to raise your hand, or will anybody else like to raise their hand or unmute yourself? Okay, or you can put it in the chat and I can try to unmute you there.
Mr. Katsoulis, there's something Mr. Katsoulis, I don't budget.
Mayor, there's no further comments or no further hands being raised from what I see.
Let Mrs. O'Shea speak.
Yes, come in. Yeah, okay, yes, you're here, okay, come out, please.
I mean, really, we only have
What's your name, who are you?
David P. Gregorio, 165 Charlotte Place, former councilman.
Emeritus.
Emeritus, I like that. Like the Pope, right?
Except he's dead.
I will be soon too, you know?
We all will.
Hopefully not too soon. All right, so first of all, we only have a few people here. So I agree, 5 minutes is short. Ms. O'Shea's home. Let her speak, for crying out loud. She's on the planning board, for crying out loud. Let her speak.
I'm on the council.
So I yield my time, the extra time, to Ms. O'Shea. So let's hear her. Thank you.
All right, Ms. O'Shea, I am going to, since he yielded his rest of his time, I'm gonna ask to unmute you, Ms. O'Shea, all right?
Who's keeping time?
Okay.
Are you ready? Okay.
Yes.
All right, there you go. Please proceed.
I'd like to thank Mr. Gregorio for doing that, I really appreciate it. With the Fifth Street property, project on CFI, the family had gotten very angry at me in one meeting because I said they were warehousing the properties, which they have been. They've been buying them and sitting on them, letting them deteriorate. Tony more fences on John Street would complain about the broken windows. So they went out and put plywood up over the windows and painted it. And they have no care about what our town looks like when people come into it. All right? So I hope that whoever is giving our attorneys and your planner, Mr. Estrada, and marching orders, modifying marching orders to accommodate what the people of this town wants. On the planning board, I've received copies of all the letters that Mrs. Scangarello received and forwarded to the judge. And there is a very large, overwhelming objection to this project. There was one positive letter. Everything is against it, and some of them are very, very detailed and very informative. Okay? Now, I just want to run through something else. On your resolution 165, you talk about the budget was redone because there was amendments from the local division of government services. I'd like to know somewhere in the future what did they recommend that we did wrong that we redone. And also on the appropriations, the from 2024 going from 380,000 to 558,000 in deferred charges. On 168, the gold type business machines. I don't know what these are supposed to do.
Oh, the license is
I
legal.
want to know, is this in connection with the LG initiative? And
No.
if so, what is it going to cost us? That's the same with the license plate readers
Yes.
and the ALPR,
122,000.
what the cost is for that, the ALPR, okay? Put the things on the poles, all right? Again, what is the cost? And, the resolution 170 about the insurance broker. My husband's a retired fireman after 32 years from TNEC, and the state health benefits plan is a lifesaver for retirees. And if you're gonna try to cheat your employees by putting them into a cheaper medical
I
plan,
didn't
but they will
know
not
that.
get the same
I
coverage,
heard that.
you should be ashamed of yourself. They should get the same coverage that they
Where
get
is she
from the
talking
state
about?
health benefits plan, which also includes prescriptions for retirees. So you really, it shouldn't be doing that. And I noticed that you have so many things that this new, guy that's doing the, contracts is doing. The qualified planning agent, yeah, that's his title. Wireless telecommunications services. What do we need all this for? I don't know, it's like going to town here. Qualified purchasing agent and borough administrator. It's wrong, it's just too much. Too much. Okay? And,
Okay.
the other thing,
Mr. Shea, if you want to wrap it.
we've also done part of roads with them before, but why are we gonna be digging up Floyd Street, Summit Street? I thought those were just paved from public service, they're nice and smooth now, now you're gonna dig them up already?
Who was that?
Mr. Shea, just, yeah, if you want to wrap up, because we have to,
Who's next?
Okay, no one seeing, no one hearing? Okay, I need a motion to close public comment. I need a motion.
Motion?
Second, all in favor?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Continue.
Mayor, do you want me to answer some of the brief comments that I can answer to?
Yes.
Okay. So to some of the comments that were brought up, I'll start off with, the health benefits consultant appointment. This is, again, exploratory. With that consultant, with the 37% hike that the state is imposing, that's creating a lot of uncertainties throughout the state of New Jersey. This health benefits consultant is just running a market analysis. We received our claims experience. We have to provide equal to or better anyway to the unions because it's in our collective bargaining agreements. So nothing is going to be proceeded until we do our proper research. We're just exploring everything, just like every other town with this in the face of this 37% increase. We might very well stay. We're not going to make any moves until we follow proper processes. So we are entitled to go through that way. Now, in the event that we don't leave, which I don't think we're there yet, we're not there, we haven't even received the data or anything like that. In the contract, it says that that money is going to be basically returned. We're not spending a single dime for this service. If they do get us out, then we pay our prorated amount that's listed in the proposal agreement, and that's for the health benefits consultant. And then if we do leave the state health benefits program, the consultant, through another RFP again, because you have to do it again at the top of the year, they will be getting paid through the premium percentage similar to the JIF, not from our OE operating expenses budget. So just wanted to clarify that. But we're in the preliminary stage. We're just doing research. We have to start now because this hike is what's going to essentially really disrupt the municipal budget in more ways than one. And it's also impacting our employees, their share in terms of what comes out of their paycheck, paycheck to paycheck. As far as a wireless telecommunications consultant, this is something that I spoke about before. The FCC rolled out a law right now in 2018, and they're coming through these towns where they're able to place these poles on these right-of-ways where the 5G rollout is going to take place. Currently, right now, Englewood Cliffs does not have an ordinance at all. So if AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, or any wireless carrier wishes to come here, first thing they're going to ask is, where's your ordinance? This consultant's going to design it where it's not the council's in control. The mayor and council are in control of the processes. So besides the ordinance fee, everything else will come out of escrow long term. The QPA had said that it is supposed to be a 5-year competitive contracting, which when it's 5 years, it's 1-year renewals, up to 5 years. So it is 1 year, but then every year we have to do a resolution to do a renewal with them. But it's up to 5 years. That is the structure of competitive contracting. You have RFPs, RFQs, bids, and then competitive contracting. That's the guidance that our QPA is giving. It's similar to our IT service provider, which is up to 5 years when we award in September. But every year there's going to be a resolution for renewal. You could stop, pivot, and start the process all over again.
What if you don't renew?
That's then you start the process all over again to essentially go out to competitive contracting and solicit
Are you
proposals.
bound by the contract or something?
No, you're not. You're not. It's 1 year.
Okay, this
It
is,
says it's up to 5 years. You get to do 1 year renewals.
Yeah.
That's the way it works. So we're going to pass our resolution in that
That's
sense.
not what it says.
And with that being said, I think,
Not what it says.
Mayor, I just want to clarify those 2 resolutions because I think there was a lot of questions on that. But with that being said, I don't know if anybody else from the council or Bob, if you wanted to touch on anything.
Can you, excuse me?
Yeah.
Can you change the resolution to read what you said?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Okay,
if
and that
there's
will
questions-
satisfy?
Yeah, I mean, you can amend the resolution as what I just said. If there is a typo, which I don't believe I saw in the whereas clauses.
Not that, but just the gist of the resolution
Yeah.
is not reflecting what you said now.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
you can say right here, but right before you vote, if you wanted to amend it to clarify, but I think the resolution title doesn't actually have a term date on it, so,
Yes, it does.
it says for
It does.
wireless telecommunication,
It does.
it says here, resolution awarding CC 2501 for wireless telecommunications consulting competitive contract to Ace Telecommunications as a fair and open manner. It doesn't have a term.
That's the title, read the contract.
5 years.
It's,
Read what you wrote.
so, if there is a clarity that we can do that right before the vote, just to further
Okay.
state that, but we're up to 5 years, you can keep doing 1-year renewals.
And renewals
Yeah,
every
also,
year.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, some minor issue being pointed out by the resident. We need to fix it. For example, 173. You talk about 1 year, and another, redundant, another, 2020. Yeah.
It's on the side.
Yeah, so, yeah, we need to talk about it before passing it.
What, the 173?
Yeah, 173.
Yeah, he'll explain what it is.
Yeah, so 173,
Yeah, the
we
tennis
just,
courts.
from what the CFO said, the lease agreement and the second lease agreement was provided by, as part of our resolution packet. Basically, we supplied this documentation in our packet on Friday. But according to the CFO, I believe, what was the amount exactly that you said that we pay in terms of lease? And they're in charge of the tennis court, so.
No, they're not.
They,
You're wrong.
we're leasing the space, CNBC owns that property, that space.
No, they
Yeah.
don't own it. That's questionable. So let's,
that-
if I were allowed to
so-
finish my comments, I would tell you some interesting information on the lease, but go ahead, sign this for nothing.
So we have
Can't
to,
prove anything.
we have to, renew it year by year at the top of the year in terms of improvements to the tennis courts.
Don't, you're wrong, Intishon. We had a 10-year lease until now. You're
10-year lease
wrong.
and it expired, and
And
that's
it
why it expired
expired,
last year, and then
And
Connecticut was.
CNBC was being sold, and they refused to renew it. And
Yeah.
the lease that we have has an opt-out clause, which is to a certain number of months' notice, so we can't improve anything because we don't own it and we don't
So-
have a long-term
so-
lease.
so
And
I-
this doesn't work. And the
Ms.
property
Becker,
is
the public portion is
supposed to be.
over, and let me
Yeah,
finish my
but
comment so
you're
I can
wrong.
answer, I'm getting there. So when in our conversation with CNBC Universal, they said at the top of the year, they would talk to us about a long-term lease in it, because they understand that we were trying to make improvements to the courts.
Do you
So we're
understand
binded by whatever the agreement is.
No.
So that, I'm operating with whatever documentation I have, in which, Bob, you saw it, it was provided to you as well.
Yes,
What
there's
was-
something really important missing, okay? Your documentation is defective. If you go to the planning board agendas and the transcripts of the planning board meetings for the year 2000, 2001, when NBC Universal bought the property, part of the agreement at the planning board is that they would deed over to the borough those tennis courts.
Okay,
That's
the-
a deed, yes, a deed.
So we
And,
own it?
and I'm asking you.
So why would they send it if we own it?
Well, you go look at it, it's your documents, not mine.
I don't know.
And those documents further state, if you read the transcripts, and when I go for stuff, I read them, the transcripts state that the property was to be deeded over to the borough, but couldn't be done by the planning board. They can't accept a deed of property. It has to be the council approving it. So as part of the developer's agreement, which was on the agenda that in 2000, 2001, they agreed to that term. The
Okay, why don't you table in this one?
No, I mean,
the developers.
We can table it?
Is listening.
We can table it tonight?
It was not, it was.
We-
And you have to check the property deed. Go to the county and check the deed. That's all I'm asking.
Really, you needed to pass tonight? We can table it?
Nonetheless, the existing document, for whatever reason, there was a lease document that was created. I don't know who started it or when it came about, but it's been a year by
But
year
it's
basis.
expiring,
It's
correct?
expiring on December
Okay.
21st, 2026 for
So-
this usage. My only concern is.
I think you should speak to Mr. Barbario, because he worked on that.
Yeah.
At $109 an hour, you should have, no, he was the one that was, last year was over there talking with them. But just ask him about that too.
Yeah, hold on. Table it.
Okay, Interchan, why don't you table it? Just don't make it issue.
Okay, well, we'll have a public conversation.
Okay, not the public portion, please stop it. And we're going to table it, okay?
We didn't have it up. It was
Okay, we have communications, Mayor?
Okay, and Mr. VA, would you take care of this communication and correspondence?
Yeah, so under communication correspondence and requests, we have two items on here, both of which was already discussed. The first one being the Breaking Days ride, which obviously is only a communication correspondence. It's a public road, they're not requesting any street closures. So with that being said, the chief already touched upon this. It's taking place on Sunday, September 14th. It's not a race. Riders are riding at their own pace. And they're not requesting any roads being closed, so there's no resolution, no approvals by the governing body required. The Englewood Cliffs Recreation already shared information regarding the 8th annual 5K run and walk on September 7th at Woody Field. Registration will run through September 6th. The information is posted on our website. And I hope to see members of the governing body and the public there running and supporting the good cause for the community. And that's about it, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Next on the agenda is approval of minutes. I need a motion and a second to, okay. Okay, for the July 22nd, 25 regular meeting. Okay, roll call please.
On roll call, Councilwoman Drummond,
This is for the minutes?
Yes.
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 Councilman Luciano,
No.
Councilwoman Begets.
Yes.
Councilman Liang.
Yes.
Councilman Patel,
Yes.
Councilman Katrubis,
Yes.
motion passed.
Okay, thank you. And the next agenda is, I need a motion for the payment of claim.
Make a motion.
Then, okay, second.
Second.
Okay, any discussion?
Yes, this is the bill list.
Yes.
I am voting no. I asked for we get a bill list this morning with the attorney fees on it.
Supplemental.
No explanation of what we're being billed for. $40,000 for Mr. Ferraro's firm, but nothing
There
on.
is an explanation.
No, there was no
There is
explanation.
a bill next to it.
No, it just said legal services.
Invoice.
Yes, it said it for
It's a
Cleary,
monthly
for
thing.
Cleary and what's his name, but nothing for Mr. Ferraro. I'm voting no on the bill list.
There is. There is a bill there, his bills.
My retainer my agreement with the borough is, it's a $10,000 a month retainer payment, and we do not bill extra, and that's our arrangement, and that's what we send in. For all the work that we do, every month. We don't itemize the billing,
Like representing the borough against Mr. Luciano.
no, I didn't participate in that,
Well, how would we know it's
Councilwoman.
not on there?
Well, I'm telling you, I didn't participate. You know there's outside counsel that's doing that.
That bill was not on there.
Okay, thank you. Roll call, please.
On roll call, Councilwoman Ramones,
No.
Councilman Luciano,
No, because there's no fiscal responsibility by this government.
Councilwoman Begets.
Yes.
Councilman Liang.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Patel?
Yes.
Yes.
Councilman Katrubis.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Okay, item number 10, next on the agenda is our 2025 municipal budget items. I need a motion and second for open public hearing.
Motion.
I need second. Okay.
Number 10.
The
I
budget.
don't have any numbers on here, number 10, what's number 10?
No, it's the municipal budget, it's, currently outlined, right, the public hearing.
Okay, public, anybody, any concern? Okay, yes, please come
I'll
up.
make a motion to open the meeting public, don't you?
We did already.
Okay.
I'm very glad that Karen Geiger, 270 Alfred, I'm very glad that we're making all these efficiencies, but somehow administrative services are going up 10% in this budget.
Saving money.
Yeah, we're saving money, but it's going up. The surplus, we're taking 3.9 million out of surplus, still no change, even though the borough fiscal, the CFO recommended against it and said it wasn't prudent. How does, in year 2026, in next year, can you tell us on the debt service? Can you tell me you should have an increase from going from 1.9 million roughly to 3.2 this year? Can you tell us what's in store for next year? Because the settlement agreements are not yet in these numbers, I believe. And as are some other large capital expenditures. So can you tell us what the number is for 2027? 26, I'm sorry. The other thing is you've used 3.9 million basically to cover a $2.149 million increase in operations. So what are you going to do next year when the debt service goes up? The surplus is no longer replenishable, as you said, and expenses go up. What are you going to do to cut the budget? Is this a 1 year, let's have fun and have the, let me see, it's exactly to the penny the amount of local tax
Let's get
municipal
everybody
purposes.
elected.
16,336,880 last year and 16,336,880 this year. What a coincidence. I remember a judge who once said 77 units. 77 units. Do you think I'm stupid? Well, that's what I'm saying to all of you. Do you think the public is stupid? This is a contrived budget. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. You have $2 million of increased operational expenses. You have administrative costs going up. You have debt service going up next year. I'm not quite sure what your deferred charges are going to be next year. But right now, I see a real hole next year. So what is this all about?
It's gonna be a tax increase and Ticket Service is gonna blame me for it.
Next one, anybody in the screen?
Anybody that wishes to be heard on.
Can I have an answer?
Okay, yes.
Yeah, once we close this.
After close, we're gonna do,
Mr. Geiger's will.
okay, yes.
Thank you. Martin Geiger, 270 Alfred Street. I've heard several members of this council say that you always rely on your professionals. When there's some controversy or question, you rely on your professionals, you rely on your attorneys, accountants, and so forth. Your professionals in this instance have recommended that you're taking too much out of surplus, and this could have a negative impact on the community's credit rating with Moody's and Standard & Poor's. It also, as Mrs. Geiger explained, could make a big problem next year, particularly since Ms. Ripka and Mr. Liang are running for re-election next year. You have a 10% tax increase. You know, easily. So I don't understand why you're not taking the advice. I guess I do understand why you're not taking the advice.
Because we need
of the
6-0 next
professionals,
year.
Because you want to be able to boast in November what a wonderful job you've done to tax rate. Actually reducing taxes slightly with the assessed value. And that's fine, as long as people understand, as people know, people aren't stupid, at least in this town, and people understand what you're doing, that you created a tax levy for political reasons, not for fiscal prudence. Thank you.
Okay, next one. Okay, Mr. David.
There's one more.
Okay, yeah, next we're gonna discuss. Okay, come up, please.
I think any way that we can save money, starting with just miscellaneous expenses, and build from that. Watch the pennies and the dollars will take care of themselves. I see money going out the window for really no good reason. We invested very prudently for technology in here, and now we're going to be spending God knows how much. We were prudent on the website. Now we're going to be spending God knows how much. It's funny because I thought Republicans were conservative and watch pennies, but I don't see that here. I see spendthrifts, and I see a Republican disaster. And,
Okay, please speak about this budget only, not the.
So,
Can you be specific to the budget, please? I mean, items that you say, yes, but really proof.
Please, the public portion.
And what
Okay.
I'd like to see is an audit of everything that you're going to be putting out, and make it known to the public where you're saving money, not spending money. Thank you.
If I may, real quickly, Mayor, this is
Public portions, so please,
Mr. Mayor?
everybody,
Mr. Mayor?
please. Okay,
Mr.
yes,
Mayor?
come out.
Mr. Mayor,
This is
I-
public portion, you are
I'm
not.
a member of the public. I
okay?
tried to be recognized as the last
Yeah,
member of the
please,
public.
Please.
I would just like to say this is a budget hearing. There's no limits on what the members can ask the council. They should have their answers, not when you're going to close it to the public and then give them answers, which might cause follow-up questions that you're going to prevent them to do. This is a budget hearing, not public comment, limited to 5 minutes.
You are not the floor.
I am speaking as a councilman.
Okay, but he hasn't addressed you yet to recognize you.
Respect for the Democrats.
I don't care.
Well, we know that, so come on, this is nonsense.
Yes.
Let's continue.
Please come up, yes, come up, please.
Come on. Let's continue. It's nonsense. Don't-
Melanie Simon, 33 Lynn Drive. This question is to you. Who's the auditor?
Gary Higgins.
What was the auditor's opinion on this budget?
The same as mine, that we are.
The surplus was going to present a profit. I think the
Not a
people,
problem, but we're using, in excess of what we.
yes, and it's going to put us in the hole next
We didn't
year.
come to a conclusion, we just left it at, we are using higher than what we used last year.
Because you
Yeah,
were
well, that's
instructed to
a
have no
good talk
budgeting.
for, we're going to be
I
in
can-
trouble.
I'll-
I would
yeah, you want
strongly
to present
urge
the summary?
you, as a
After
former
that.
member of, of the council, to be very prudent in this decision that you make. I know you're running for election, as everybody, and you want to have a flat budget, but this is not the way to do it, because the following year, taxpayers are going to have something to say about it.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, would you check out the screen?
Yep, Mayor, checking right now. Anybody wishes to be heard, please raise your hand.
Yes, yes, come up, please. Yeah. This one is,
You have someone in the audience that wants to speak still?
yeah, what about it?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't see you.
Just while we're talking about the budget, I just had a question. How is the rec department?
I'm sorry, I didn't get your name again.
Sorry, Penny Bowen, 508 Floyd Street. I'm just curious on how you can operate the recreation department, who, has a lot of spending to do.
Just for the record, Councilman Rashid is physically present.
Oh my God, the whole system is down.
Oh.
Sorry. I'm just curious on how the rec department is operating with just no checks and balances on a budget. And Tim is supposedly doing a great job, but how can you run a rec department without having a budget? That's just my input on the whole budget thing. How does that work?
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? No, me. Okay. Yes, please, CFO, please go ahead. Okay, just a second. One of the resident talking.
Andrew Nick at 54 Elm Street. In light of what was said just recently, just a question for CFO is there a process to make amendments to the budget to reflect concerns of residents, or it's sort of, you have to withdraw it and then throw it all back in and get it reapproved and all that other
I'll
stuff?
present this part of my.
So you have to redo the whole thing?
Yeah.
Okay, just on it. Thank you.
Okay.
Calling him to respond.
Okay, yes, CFO. No. Why don't you answer, Barry? Yes.
So I'll try to go over the questions that were presented. I think the first question had to do with the amendment. The amendment was presented at the last meeting. The extent of the amendment was there was a revenue line item that I had left off, did not use it in this year's budget. My plan was to use it in next year's budget. It was a reserve for state aid for $72,000 and change. My thought process was to use it for next year's budget. The state's recommendation was that we should use it in this year's budget. That's what triggered the amendment primarily. So we had a revenue item that was going to cause the budget to increase because we had additional revenue. And there was also some minor line items on the appropriation side, specifically on deferred charges, where there was a minor discrepancy between the AFS numbers and the budget numbers. So those figures needed to be increased by approximately $19,000. And I decided to use the difference to increase the recreation salaries and wages line item. The reason behind that was that, if you remember, when we appointed the summer personnel, we used a different hourly rate because we were of the opinion that we have to follow the federal minimum wage. The Labor Council then subsequently corrected us that, it's supposed to be the state minimum wage. It was a significant difference, and in my opinion, it was the additional $50,000 and change was best suited to be put in the recreation budget to avoid any more expenditures at the end of the year. So that was the extent of the budget amendment, and this public hearing tonight was strictly on the budget amendment. Just some general observations on the budget. The same presentation I did when I introduced the budget back in June. The budget is going up approximately 9 to 10% on the appropriation side. We are using about $1.5 million more in surplus than what we did last year. Just to analyze, last year we used $2,450,000 to balance the budget, and we generated during 2024 approximately $3.5 million. Rule of thumb is, as long as you're generating more than what you're using, you're good. Your cumulative surplus balance at the end of 2024 was approximately $6.8 million. From that 6.8, you're using 3.9. I said the same thing when I introduced the budget. If you can ask the CFO, if you can ask an auditor, their recommendation will always be to have a tax increase and have less reliance on the surplus. I stand corrected, I'll say the same thing. However, I did say that historically the borough has generated about $2 to $2.5 million each year. So will we generate the full $3.9 million? Likely not. Will we not generate anything? No, definitely not. We'll generate something. I know the borough administrator is working on highlighting some of the costs and bringing efficiency in the departments. So I hope that, that works out for us for next year. And to answer one of the other questions, whether the Sylvan Avenue litigation and tax appeal settlement is in this year's budget, yes, it is, because it was approved in 2024. Our first payment was supposed to be in 2025. That is approximately $1 million. So I haven't looked at other debt services, but at least that line item will remain flat. It will not have any additional increase.
Wonderful.
In terms of salaries and wages, I know we are some changes in personnel in 2025, so that will also have a positive impact in next year's budget, specifically the administrator's position, the clerk's position, and we are looking at the other departments as well. I think I answered all the questions. If I missed anything, please remind me.
It was a Kenny and then there was something.
Debt service, I said, I don't have it calculated for 2026, but the Sylvan Avenue litigation is in this year's budget, so that alone will not cause the number to go up. It will be your routine increases.
The parks, you have a lot of capital expenditures.
So we have in this year's budget, we appropriated for capital improvement fund, $100,000, and we had cumulative balance in the capital improvement fund of at the end of last year, we had a balance in capital improvement fund of $321,000. So 321 plus the 100,000 in this year's budget allows you to basically borrow approximately $8 million in capital improvements, if my math is correct. And historically, we have never done capital improvements to that extent. We have done one bond ordinance last month, we did one this month. We're not using that much in capital improvement fund because most of them are also including DOT grants. So just to give you an example, you can do the park project all over again with that $8 million. So you will never get to use the full $400,000 of capital improvement fund as down payment funding. It gives you enough room to do capital improvements. Not only that, if you do your typical $2, $3, $4 million of capital improvement fund, next year you may not have to appropriate $100,000 in capital improvement fund and just use the leftover money. So those are just some of the points on capital projects.
Okay, public portion is already.
No.
No.
Oh, still open, still open.
It's not.
Yeah,
Okay.
Ms. Geiger.
You didn't answer the question. The question, or maybe I wasn't clear in what I was asking. I wanted to know, when you have your debt service, you have principal and interest.
Correct.
You paid out $1 million, let's say, for the Sylvan Avenue. How much of that is principal? How much of that is interest? And for all of our debt service, what's going to hit next year? If you only paid interest this year, how much you still have now to catch principal in year two? Usually your interest is year one, your principal and interest starts in year two. That's how it's usually done.
So
It may not be, so what I want to know is what is the schedule going to be for debt service that we have to pay based on the issuance of bonds and notes in the past for 2026.
So to refer to the Sylvan Avenue tax appeal and judgment, the $1,010,000 is strictly for principal. Now, when you go to local finance board for special approvals, the way they do it is they give you a time frame. So on the higher number, they gave us a 10-year payout, so $7.2 million raised over 10 years. That would be $720,000. And on the tax appeal, that was $1,450,000. They gave you a 5-year payout. So that's $1,450,000 divided by 5. I think it's 200,000 and change. So that's what the $1,010,000 represents. The interest on that is already factored in your total interest cost, which for this year was $422,000. And the Sylvan Avenue piece is approximately $140,000 of it.
Can I just, the 400 that you made reference to just a second ago, that's on total debt service? Not on just the 1 million?
That's the interest on all the notes outstanding.
So I guess the question that I have off of that is, I think what Ms. Geiger is looking for is, you have a schedule of debt service that we know right now without any more debt. You have to know monthly and what next year the increase, the stepped increase and the decrease in principal. Every month you make a payment, the principal goes down. What next year right now is the debt service number going to be? Not on the 1 million, in the total debt. I think that's really what we're looking to find out.
Just one correction there. The debt service payments are done twice a year, every 6 months. So 1 6 month is principal payment, one is only interest
Right, but
payment.
I'm
So-
just saying, at the next year's budget, when you anticipate, I'm gonna make up a number, it's 1 million this year. Next year, we might know something, we're going from temporary bonds to sell bonds, to go to permanent financing, and what are you anticipating our debt service to be next year on
I
the
don't
same?
have that number readily available,
Okay,
but I can
that's-
get it.
That's fine, I think that's the overall picture. We don't wanna know, because what you're doing is you're taking $1 million section of the debt, but you're comparing it to the $400,000 interest, which is not apples to apples. So that's all, I'm just,
I can get it to the council.
yeah, and I mean, for the public as well.
I understand. I have another question on the surplus, and the replenishment of it. Can you tell me how much of that surplus relates to the monies that the borough holds for the Board of Education because of the 6-month lag?
So you're referring to the deferred school taxes.
Right.
So in 2024, we did not utilize the deferred school tax. If that answers your question.
How could that be?
Because we just paid it out without having to use deferred.
So we follow the schedule that's based on the calendar year tax levy.
No, that's not right. We do the calendar.
Right.
They do July.
Fiscal.
Correct.
Okay, so there's a 6-month period where we're holding money, it's cash in our surplus.
Right. So
Which we owe to the school district.
Probably a to from
to pay
account.
them, because it's their money, we collect taxes on their behalf, we pick up the cash and hold it for them. I just want to know how much of the surplus numbers of the 3.9 or I don't even know what number to publish,
So-
is the money we're holding that we have to pay to the school.
So in reality, it's not a real surplus, it just looks like a surplus on the books.
Right.
And there are 2 ways you can do it. You can do it the way I started doing it in Englewood Cliffs, or you can do it the way Englewood Cliffs was doing it prior to that, to me arriving, where it was the deferred school tax. I prefer to have no liability at the end of the year, so I pay out whatever the calendar year tax levy says.
So you net it out.
I net it out.
Thank you.
That's good.
Okay, thank you. Motion to close the public portion.
Second.
Okay. Okay, I need a motion.
Roll call.
Roll call, please, okay.
On
On
the
roll
close.
call, Councilwoman Drummond,
In the close.
Yes.
yes. Councilman Luciano,
Aye.
Councilwoman Begat,
Yes.
Councilman Liang,
Yes.
Councilman Patel,
Yes.
Councilman Katrubis.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, our next item is,
Resolution number 25-167.
what's okay, 11? I need a motion and a second for the second reading of the ordinance.
Resolution 25-167.
Where is it?
Resolution adopting the
Yeah, you need a motion to adopt resolution.
This is the resolution for the amendment of the, to the township amendment of the budget.
This one?
The what?
This is the resolution adopting the 2025 calendar year. municipal
Okay.
budget.
I need a motion for 25167, resolution adopting 2025 municipal budget. I need a motion. That's second.
Second.
Okay. Roll call, please.
On roll call, Councilwoman Drummond,
No, I just want to state, after serving on this council for many years and living in this town many years, I find it fiscally irresponsible to be taking $3.9 million from surplus, only to have the residents pay next year. So no.
Councilman Luciano,
No.
Councilwoman Begat,
Yes.
Councilman Liang,
Yes.
Councilman Patel,
Yes.
Councilman Katrubis.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you. I need a motion and a second for the second reading of the ordinance at 2025-04. 03.
Mhm.
I'm
I thought all
sorry.
three was
Zero
underground
three,
parking,
okay.
not
I'm going
resurfacing.
to table it.
Well, there's a motion for the reading first.
I'll second your motion to table.
Okay,
Thank you. Okay, there's a motion to
So
table
motion-
the ordinance.
Yes.
So it was a motion
It's
by
underground parking,
Councilwoman
it did
Begets.
nothing
The
with.
ordinance amending chapter
It totally
30.
has no teeth, it's unenforceable.
The ordinance
Every builder will
amending
come in
chapter
and say,
30
"I'm
of the
not
Borough
gonna-
Code
I'm not
entitled
gonna
zoning
open up the zone."
and specifically prohibiting the construction of subsurface car garages due to flooding risks. There's a motion by Councilwoman Begats to table, seconded by Councilman Luciano, excuse me.
Okay, then roll call, please.
On roll call, Councilwoman Drummond,
To table.
Table it.
Yes.
to table. Councilman Luciano,
Aye.
Councilwoman Begets,
Yes.
Councilman Liang.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
Councilman Katurbis,
Yes.
motion carries.
Okay, thank you. I need a motion and second for the second reading of the ordinance 2025-04. Need a motion and second?
Make a motion.
Okay, I need a motion and second
Look,
for
we
the.
have a
public-
reading of the ordinance, please, by title only.
Yeah, okay, would you, who's gonna read it?
Second. This is the ordinance number 2025-04. It's a bond ordinance to authorize the 2025 road resurfacing and drainage improvement program in, by, and for the Borough of Englewood Cliffs in the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $770,000 to pay the cost thereof, to make a down payment to authorize the issuance of bonds to finance such appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds.
Okay, I need a motion to open public.
Make a motion.
For the second,
Is there a second?
okay.
All in favor?
Okay, please come out, and anyone else want to talk about it, this 25-04?
I know you don't like to recognize me, but I'm just curious out of the 770, as a member of the public and a councilman, what part is for drainage and what part is for road surfaces? Because it says in here, and I know drainage is a hot topic in town, and I'd just like to know what portion is for drainage versus repaving. Thank you. Or is it just titled that way and it's really all in surface?
I will close motion, public portion.
Can I get my answer first?
Okay, we can have a discussion portion, okay, please.
Do you want me to stand over there?
No, we have a
Okay, so
discussion.
can I get an
section.
answer first?
No,
No, he's not, he's gonna close it and not answer
So
me,
let's
so I want an answer.
Let's answer the question, we're on the second read, so. So do we have the answer to that?
Yeah, we have a cost estimate, that's what I was just gonna say with some IT, and that, I can re-forward it to you again, that Gilmore supplied.
It's in this, it's in
that-
somewhere in
It's a
here?
cost estimate, and I do apologize, last meeting we were asking for it, it was in the packet, it was in the email packet again, and then we also attached it here as well.
Email packet when?
When we sent it out on Friday.
On Friday?
We
Okay.
attached it there, so I can re-forward it to you as well.
I'm looking for the detailed breakout of what's for drainage and what's for
Yeah,
road
it's in
surface.
the cost estimate from Gilmore Associates.
Okay,
So, only 35,000 for drainage, the rest is for surfacing, okay.
For various roads, yeah.
I don't have it here, but, okay, someone gave it to me, but I don't have it, okay.
Yeah, drainage, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this stuff was on my desk here tonight.
okay.
Thank you, Mr. Geiger.
Karen Geiger, yes, come up, please.
Karen Geiger, 270 Alfred. Years ago, I hate to use past tense, but years ago, we had asked for a schedule that was prepared that laid out all the borough streets and set up a schedule which said which ones would be repaid when. That hasn't happened. Now, yep, then we had PSE&G come in and the streets get torn up. Now, we have the engineers coming in with road improvements needed for the sewers. We don't know how that's gonna affect the streets that they fix. How can you go ahead in any conscience with a road improvement project which is gonna rip up streets and repave them when you don't know if those same streets are then going to have to be again ripped up to fix the sewer problems that may be there? Have you cross-referenced the known streets that Boswell has indicated need to be redone because there are bursting sewers in them? I mean, I know my street is on the list. It has 3 bursting sewer pipes. Mine is a 1-block street, and I've never seen any evidence of it. But
Can you look in that direction, not in my direction, because it's not me. You have to look over there.
Boswell said my street has to have burst pipes repaired. So what budget is going to repave that street once it's repaired, if it's repaired? I noticed that Mr. Katrubis' street is on this list. I live around the corner from Mr. Katrubis. His street is no better and no worse than any other street. How did that street get selected? It's not on a general list. You really have to set up a schedule so residents can know when their streets are going to be done and not have random streets picked by God knows whom, and also not have that tie in to the other work that's going to be needed. It makes no sense and costs us too much money.
Thank you. Anyone else?
The same way Mr. O'Shea said.
Nobody else?
Okay.
I can answer that, Mrs. Geiger. That was a great question. But the first off, the list was provided by recommendation from DPW Superintendent Mark Neville, who has an analysis according to him where he gives it. And yeah, I mean, I can bring it up to him. He has a road analysis, the way he calculates it based off of moratorium. You know, as you know, there's like about a 10-year lifespan for every road, give or take, and that's a moratorium. And then he sections it in areas and phases, like, if I'm gonna do this part of the town, then I'm gonna move on to this part of the town. But I'd be more than happy. He's been, like I said, he's been out, relatively. I'll be able to get you a written answer, just so you'll be able to have
I
that.
think everyone in town would.
Can I get a copy of that analysis too, because I haven't seen it?
Of course, DPW goes around, they do the grading, they provide that information to us, and then they send it to the engineers, then the engineers they come up with a cost estimate.
But
So that's-
how does that tie in now? You
yeah.
have a report
So-
that identifies many streets throughout the town which are in need of either relining pipes, which will not need to break up the streets, or burst pipes, which have to be open in the streets. You can't fix a burst pipe with a liner, I assume. I don't know, maybe you can.
It's a great question, Ms. Geiger. Mark, I brought that on as well up to him. He said that the improvements that they're making, there's a way, like, that's why I'm gonna get you the answer from Mark directly, because I asked him that specifically, because we're making these improvements. However, for instance, when, let's say the funding does come in for Hudson Terrace to replace the sanitary sewer improvements, right? Whenever it comes out of appropriation committee, part of the project, when they replace the lines, part of the project is when they replace the lines, they reconstruct the entire road as well. So, but Mark Neville does have a strategy on that, he accounted for that. So when he returns, I will get that answer for you to him, via email.
I'm sure Mark didn't count on this.
Okay, yes, please come up. And, don't answer every single, question. You just after that, just do it whole thing together, okay? Don't do that. That wastes too much time. Okay, please. Yes, okay, go ahead.
370 Alfred Street. I just want to note, I want to make a general observation that I drive around town quite frequently. I find the roads to be basically in lovely condition. There's been so many roads that are repaved, they look brand new. I'm waiting for Charlotte Place, your street.
He's done.
It should be done. And so it's probably hard to find a lot of streets that need to be repaved. But having said that, and particularly because most of the streets look pretty good, I would urge the DPW not to be using snow plows again to pick up leaves in November. They should be using because when they use a snow plow, it scars the macadam, it scars the surface. On our street in particular, those scars can still be seen. In addition, I would request whoever is the liaison with PSE&G, let them know when they start painting, or when the water company starts painting blue stripes or whatever they're orange stripes on streets to indicate where certain lines or valves are located, they should remove those lines. It's going to take decades for the paint strips on our street probably to fade, and it's kind of annoying and not the kind of visuals that one would expect in the communities such as Englewood Cliffs. I'm sure we're not the only people who have that, but we have on Alfred Street, blue lines,
Red lines,
yellow lines, demarcating certain, I don't know, underground things. They should be written,
Gas,
certainly,
electric.
that they can be removed. You may have it too, where you.
Gas, electric, and water.
What?
Gas, electric, and water.
Well, whatever it is, yes, absolutely, yes. We shouldn't have to live with that forever. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, come out. Mr. David DiGardia.
It's very nice that we have our streets paved, but the curbs are, we have a beautiful street, but the curbs should also be redone. Other towns use different materials for their curbs, and that should be figured in. It does add an amount of charm. If you see in Westchester, even in Englewood, Tenafly, Cresskill, they use Belgian block curbs. Those have an advantage because you don't have to redo the whole curb. If there's a certain section, you just do a section and it looks like it's never been touched. So it's nice to have the curbs looked at and done in select areas that are highly visible. Consider another type of material for the curb. What Mr. Geiger did mention, they use these scissors to get the, it's a scissor attachment on the front of a bulldozer, and I agree, it mars the road and it looks terrible. So we did last year, the year before, the leaf pickup was a disaster. And I foresee the same thing happening this year, even though we have more people on the DPW. But yes, the vacuum, there was a new one purchased, and we should have the right equipment, and we should also try to encourage the public to mulch the leaves on the spot. That is environmentally safe, and again, it's pennies, but it definitely is something that is going to save the town in the long run. And while I'm at it, it's nothing to do with the subject, but the garbage. I put recycle, brought it down here. It was like a mountain, and it was so lucky that the wind wasn't blowing over the weekend, because it goes up and down Hudson Terrace. I have pictures 8 years ago of that. Put a cage around it. At least if it's windy, it keeps the boxes in place. This place is not a SHIT hole, it's a town. We should be making it as beautiful and as clean as possible.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, yes, come up, please.
Andrew Nick, 54 Elm Street. My attitude about it is if we have the money to pave streets, let's just pave the streets. I mean, I understand doing stuff responsibly, but we have people who are basically second guessing our DPW, our engineer, who have no information on it. If they say that the streets need to be paved, why are we fighting that? It just like boggles the mind. You know, we've got people that like to go after the DPW because they're low-hanging fruit. Well, the vacuum machine works great, except when residents put out sticks and other debris that the vacuum machine can't handle. So unless you want every DPW guy there with a shovel picking it up and expecting the leaves to get picked up in an orderly fashion, it's not going to happen. Yes, that thing scrapes it, but it scrapes it no more than an average snowplow does. So, you know, let's use some common sense over here. It absolutely is. If you have the money to pave the streets, pave the streets. Don't scapegoat the DPW. They were down a machine last year that, you know, didn't get replaced until very later on. That's why the leaves got the way they were. And look, let's just get it done. I want paved streets. I want a nice angle of.
Chief, I haven't seen a vacuum truck in this town ever. Never saw a vacuum truck ever. I don't even see him vacuuming out the
Motion?
Motion.
Second, all in favor?
Roll call.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Roll call. Councilwoman Drummond?
Yes.
Councilman Luciano?
Yes.
Councilwoman Begets?
Yes.
Councilman Liang?
Yes.
Councilman Patel?
Yes.
Councilman Katurbis?
That was just to close it.
Yes.
Now you
Motion
have-
carries.
We need a motion now.
Motion to adopt it? Adoption?
Yeah.
Yeah, I need a motion and a second to adopt
Make a motion.
bond ordinance.
Motion.
Okay, second. Okay, roll call, please.
On roll call, Councilwoman Drummond?
Yes.
Councilman Luciano?
Yes.
Councilwoman Begets?
Yes.
Councilman Liang?
Yes.
Councilman Patel?
Yes.
Councilman Katurbis?
Yes.
Motion
Yes.
carries.
Okay, thank you. Number 12, introduction of ordinance. Okay, I need a motion and second to read the instruction of a bond ordinance 2025-05. Madam Clerk, roll call,
Can we have a
please.
motion first? and
I'll
second?
make a motion.
Make a motion first.
Seconded by?
Second.
Okay,
Roll call.
roll call,
On roll
please.
Well,
call,
discussion,
Any
Councilman
opposed?
Drummond?
just a little discussion on it?
She's just reading, like, we're just reading.
Oh,
Read the
okay.
title.
He's saying roll call, so I'm like,
Any opposed?
No.
No.
We need to,
Okay,
we
so-
need-
Yeah, you need the title
title.
first.
okay. Ordinance number 2025-05, bond ordinance to authorize the improvement of Summit Street from East Palisade Avenue to Pressing Road in, by, and for the borough of Englewood Cliffs in the county of Bergen, state of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $250,000 to pay the cost thereof, to appropriate a state grant, to authorize the issuance of bond of finance such appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bond.
Motion, motion to introduce. Anybody second? Any discussion?
how much is the grant?
No one? Okay,
I know you don't hear me, but I asked the question, so I apologize, but
Okay.
I asked the question.
yeah,
Councilman, we had about, I believe, 187,000, the grant letter was attached also to, 190, sorry, I apologize, 190.
190 of the 250 is a grant,
Yes.
$190,050.
and $50. Any pennies? Okay. Thank you.
okay, roll call, please.
On roll call, Councilwoman Drummond?
Yes.
Councilman Luciano?
Yes.
Councilwoman Begets?
Yes.
Councilman Liang?
Yes.
Councilman Patel?
Yes.
The rest are no.
Councilman Katurbis?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next item is a resolution of the consent agenda. We have a consent agenda resolution, Mr. BA. Please read into the record the title of each resolutions.
Sure, Mayor, thank you. We have under consent agenda, resolution number 25-168, resolution of the Borough of Englewood Cliffs, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, authorizing contract with Goldtech Business Machines through Bergen County Cooperative Pricing System, number 206 BCPS, for Verizon-powered automated license plate reader ALPR equipment and services under BC bid 20-23-17. Resolution number 25-169, resolution authorizing the borough to enter into a full attachment agreement with Verizon New Jersey for the automated license plate reader program, and authorizing the mayor to execute said agreement. Resolution 25-170, resolution for appointment of insurance broker for health benefits to Brown & Brown Metro LLC in fair and open manner. Resolution number 25-171, resolution awarding competitive contract 25-01 for wireless telecommunications consulting competitive contract to ACE Telecommunications as a fair and open manner. Resolution 25-172, resolution authorizing the solicitation of bids for leaf disposal services for the 2025 season. Resolution 25-173, resolution authorizing the execution of a lease agreement with NBC Universal Media for tennis and volleyball courts. Resolution 170.
Excuse me, can we table that?
Yeah, I'm just gonna read the full list and then you can discuss. Resolution 25-174, resolution authorizing Gilmore and Associates to provide professional engineering services for construction, observation, and administration services to the Borough of Englewood Cliffs in support of the 2025 road paving program associated work via the Riverside Co-op in the amount not to exceed $60,323.06. Resolution 25-175, resolution authorizing Gilmore and Associates to provide professional engineering services for final New Jersey Department of Transportation approval, preparation documents, and specifications suitable for public bidding, recommendation, and award of contract, as well as construction, observation, and administration services to the Borough of Englewood Cliffs in support of the New Jersey Department of Transportation fiscal year 23-24 municipal aid project for the reconstruction of Floyd Street as set forth in the grant applications in the amount not to exceed $40,000. Under Finance, Tax, Insurance, and Purchasing, we have resolution number 25-176, resolution appointing EB Employee Solutions LLC DBA as a difference card to provide HRA services for the Borough of Englewood Cliffs. And then resolution 25-177, resolution for the renewal of membership in the South Bergen Municipal Joint Insurance Fund. That is the consent agenda.
Okay, thank you. Okay, what item you're gonna table it?
173.
173?
Yeah,
Yeah.
173.
Okay, we need a motion too,
Gotta
right?
go to the bottom.
We need a motion, right? Yeah, we need a motion, right?
Yes, also
We-
for 171 has to be rewrote.
Oh, we're amending this to state that there's,
Yes.
that's,
Well, why don't we table it until we get the right writing? Because you know how many times we get something
You
that's
can write
written
it right
differently
here
than what
under
we
171.
talked about?
Yeah, yeah, we need it, yes.
I make a motion
We
to
need-
table it.
No, I mean, the attorney will,
Hold on.
amend.
Okay,
No,
yeah.
no,
Would you give me a...
one thing,
Okay, hold
Don't
on.
have in writing.
Hold on, one time, one
We're gonna
time.
get it in writing after we vote on it. So why don't we table it and get it in
That would
writing?
delay
so
the
we do it
process, right?
So we table those two items, right?
No,
71 and 73.
There you go.
This would delay the process or going forward to getting
So
started.
you're gonna delay the process.
We just
So
amend it.
respectfully, you're okay with voting on a resolution that you haven't read, haven't got the wording.
You're just
voting.
changing the term to say 1-year renewal.
Yeah, one
That's
year
all.
renewal.
Okay.
That's
And
all,
then
we
it's going to
added.
start in
Numbers is-
October.
I know, we always say that we're just doing.
But it's gonna be here now.
In the
Yeah.
records.
Yes.
Do it
We
now.
got the majority, I don't care.
Okay.
Just one minute, Tom,
So-
okay.
so what, so we're gonna amend,
We are saving money in that.
25-171, the last whereas, where it says the term of the contract is allowable for up to 5 years. Okay, okay, so in number one,
With 1-year renewals.
so for a number one of the contract, after, in the therefore section, it's going to say,
Yeah, 1 year subject to 4-year annual renewal, like Mr. Geiger said.
for
And what's the
1 year.
terms?
5-year term.
From December 31st, 26 to December 31st, 26? I shouldn't have to point that out to you.
It's the date of this, it's effective.
For 1 year, subject to
I make a motion to table 171 and 173.
1-year renewals.
There's a motion and a second on the table for tabling the two motions,
Take a roll call, please.
two resolutions.
Take a roll call, please.
We are saving money in this.
On roll call, Councilwoman Drummond?
Yes.
Councilman Luciano?
Yes.
Councilwoman Begets?
No.
Councilman Liang?
No.
Councilman Patel?
No.
Councilman Katrubis? Motion failed.
So the public, just so you know, they're fine with voting on things that we don't have in writing.
I make a
So
motion.
just so that you're aware of that.
Together, yes,
So
together.
you have a motion to approve the consent agenda, Commissioner, Councilwoman Begets?
Yes.
With the exception of 73, which you want to have tabled, and 71 is going to be for
Correct.
1 year, subject to 4 1-year renewals.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Okay, second? Oh, is there a second?
Yeah, but David,
Motion.
they have no T.
Are we doing
Motion for
173?
the consent order, motion to approve the
Yes.
consent order,
Flood zone. and we
by
don't have
tabling 173 and amending 171 as I just
I called them
stated.
last
For the
night to change
tabling,
it.
I
They
need
didn't do
that
it.
separate vote.
That's why we're tabling
Councilman
it.
Liang gave motion.
But no
Who
second.
was
They're idiots.
Second.
No, need a second vote, another second vote.
173.
So to approve all, you want to approve all of them except 173
Yes.
and
171. we
and
got.
171 as amended. So we have a motion for that?
Yes.
Councilwoman Begets, second. Councilman Liang? Okay,
Roll call.
roll call.
On roll call, Councilwoman Drummond?
I abstain on all.
Okay, Councilman Luciano,
Once again, this council is showing you their willingness to vote on things that they have no idea what they're voting on. I vote no. I'll abstain as well. I'll abstain.
Abstain. Good. Enough.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
Enough.
Councilwoman
Thank you.
Begets,
Yes.
Councilman Liang,
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
Councilman
Well, the mayor
Katurbis.
can't run the meeting. He's incompetent.
Motion carries.
Okay, so,
Item 14.
so I need a motion to approve it.
No, we just, where are we now?
We just,
Wait just a second. Let's see where we are. Motion to adjourn.
Oh, motion to
I'll make a
adjourn.
motion. Motion to adjourn.
I need a motion to adjourn?
Mayor needs a motion to.
Yeah, motion to
I look
adjourn.
forward to you all next
Okay,
month.
thank you.
Okay.
Second.
Who's the second? All in favor?
Second.
Okay. Okay.
Aye.
Okay. Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned at 9:17 PM.
For the Zoom users, the meeting is continuing now.